ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Akin ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ́ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹ́rù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan ká lè débi re ẹ jẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé ti ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Akin ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ́ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹ́rù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan ká lè débi re ẹ jẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé ti ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Akin ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ́ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹ́rù bo lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀ kan ká lè débi re ẹ jẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho àfikàn pọ̀pọ̀ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹ́rù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé tí ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
ti lọ bá wa ṣe.
Bàbá yẹn jẹ́ Adékánṣọ́lá.
Adékánṣọ́lá.
The Ọlọ́bàgùn of Ọbàgùn.
Ní 1963.
1963. Yes.
Ẹ ṣeun sá. Wọ́n ní bàbá yẹn sọ pé.
Yorùbá ò lè dìlú kékeré wọ́n lè dè
wọ́n lè parun láyé
wọ́n lè dè èèyàn kékeré láyé.
Tí ó bá tó àkókò tí gbogbo wa ti ń sùn bá ṣe ń sùn yìí Ọlọ́run á gbé àwọn kan dìde tá a bá sì wá dẹjú àárín mú àárín wípé Ọlọ́run ti gbé bàbá wa Akintoye dìde ó gbé Chief Sunday dìde ó dẹ̀ gbé àwọn kéékèèké náà dìde tí wọ́n lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ láti kún wọn lọ́wọ́ ká lè dé ilẹ̀ lérí ọ̀rọ̀ Ọlọ́run wá sọ wípé ẹ̀yin Yorùbá ẹ dìde kí ẹ sì máa lọ sí ilẹ̀ lérí yín nítorí pé èyí kì í ṣe ibi ìsinmi yín Nàìjíríà kì í ṣe ibi ìsinmi wa nítorí ó jẹ́ aláìmọ́ yóò pa yín run àní píparun kíkorò tá a bá kúrò láàrin wọn ìwé Mákàì oríkèjì ẹsẹ̀ kẹwàá ló sọ.
wọ́n fẹ́ pa àwa Yorùbá wọ́n fẹ́ pa wá run ni.
so president tuntun ìtọ́jú pẹ̀lú ọmọ Yorùbá rẹ̀ ìyẹn ò ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú kán má pa wá run.
I'll continue. The Fulani are killing people all over Yoruba land even now. I have a report tí mo ní káwọn kan bá mi ṣe area by area in Yoruba land Fulani people are killing people.
So kò sí nǹkan tọ́mọ Yorùbá tó wà ń bẹ̀ yìí tó lè ṣe sí àfi tá a bá jáde kúrò láàrin wọn ló tó lè jẹ́.
agbọ́dọ̀ kúrò nílẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Nigeria is the land of the death for the Yoruba people. We must not die. The only way tí a lè survive ká má kú ni ká kúrò Nàìjíríà, that's all.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó fún wa ní bàbá wa yìí because irú wọn ṣọ̀wọ́n nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. I have never ó hàdì fún mi láti ìgbà tí mo ti ń wò kẹ́ẹ̀kan rí àwọn elderly person báyìí kán lè máa reason jinlẹ̀ báyìí nítorí ọjọ́ ọ̀la àmọ́ àwọn bàbá mi ìdàgbọ́dọ̀ dárúkọ wọn tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin náà mọ̀ níṣẹ́ náà máa sọ èrò náà máa fi ìdí wé ìrù orí wé àwọn nǹkan tí ò jọra wọn náà máa sọ and we are dying on daily basis. Bàbá wa ẹ pẹ́ fún wa mélòó la fẹ́ sọ nínú ẹ̀yin Adépèlé kó má dàbí òwe torí àfẹ́ gbà àkókò yẹn àfẹ́ kẹrẹ́. Bàbá wa mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ pa láṣẹ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá bóyá mọ̀ràn náà ni ká tún sọ ṣùgbọ́n nǹkan tẹ́yìn bá ti sọ ń bí èmi rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣẹ sí ìran Yorùbá tá a lè gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀lé pé látòní lọ ọ̀rọ̀ tán máa ń sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún kò ṣe é mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ bá wa fa igi yẹn tu lénìí ìgbòǹgbò yẹn kan fà á tu dẹ́ gbogbo wa kẹ́ wá sọ fún wa kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí fi ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fún àwọn ọmọ wọn pé ìlú ẹni ilẹ̀ ẹni tọ́lọ̀ ń dáyàn sí ó ṣe é jà fún.
ó ṣe é jà fún is worth fighting for it's even worth dying for.
ẹ ṣeun bàbá èmi tiẹ̀ sọ nínú ètò yẹn mo ní èmi tiẹ̀ ti zero mind mi pé torẹ́lòmíì bóyá ó ń retí nǹkan tó máa rí ń bẹ̀ ló ṣe é sọ pé so but mo wá sọ fún ọ nínú ètò tí mo ṣe lọ yẹn torí mo sọ fún ọ mo ní part 2 ètò yẹn ń bọ̀ so eléyìí òun gan ni part 1 kì í má sọ pé part 2 mọ́ nígbà tá a ti wá dọ́dọ̀ mo fẹ́ ibi tá a wà ń sìn ní orísun torí ẹ̀yin lọ́lọ́run gbé dìde láti mú pé ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ìmọ́lẹ̀ wa tàn sí dáadáa a sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run náà gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá abẹ̀yìn láti èní lọ tẹ́ ẹ bá ti rẹ́ni tó ń sọ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ yín pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún ẹ̀yà tètè mọ̀ pé
àti pé ẹnu Yorùbá ò kò.
tọ́ndẹ̀ tó ń sọ pé ẹnu Yorùbá ò kò kẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé pródọ̀tì
àwọn máràbù
ni ẹ bá wa táìpù ẹ lè make sure pé ṣe mọ̀ pé gbogbo ara láìkí ká máa ṣe design sórí Facebook WhatsApp ẹ kọ sílẹ̀ pé ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ń sọ wípé ọmọ Yorùbá ò ṣe jà fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ṣe jà fún is a product of máràbù èmi máa ṣe yẹn lénìí tí n bá kúrò
lọ́dọ̀. àti ẹni tó bá sọ pé ẹnu Yorùbá ò kò.
wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ṣe jà fún ẹni tó bá sọ pé ilẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ò ṣe jà fún tó sọ pé ẹnu Yorùbá ò kò ẹ sọ pé is a product of máràbù kẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ kọ́ gbàgàdà báyìí ká pòṣẹ̀ sí gbogbo WhatsApp ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ká máa dá ọfà yẹn padà sára àwọn irú àwọn bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa.
ṣe ó kú wákù kan.
Yes sir.
àwọn kan náà máa ń sọ wípé pé àwòlẹ̀ ló ń ja ẹ̀tàn àwòlẹ̀ ni àwòlẹ̀ ìjọba Ọ̀yọ́. Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ni o kì í sọ̀rọ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé.
Yes sir.
Ọ̀yọ́ ilé. ṣùgbọ́n ó fẹ́ràn mischief ó máa ṣe mischief láàrin àwọn chiefs yẹn.
Yes sir.
so àwọn èèyàn ò láìkí ẹ. so ńgbà táwọn kan wá revolt against ẹ tí wọ́n wá tí wọ́n wọnú ìlú Ọ̀yọ́ lára àwọn ọmọ country yẹn náà ni o.
Yes sir.
tí wọ́n wọ àárín ìlú Ọ̀yọ́ the revered and great city of Ọ̀yọ́ ilé tí wọ́n á bẹ̀ sí báńkì jẹ́ káàkiri ìgboro. ó wá ránṣẹ́ sáwọn chiefs ẹ̀ pé kán wá help o sí chief kankan.
àwọn èèyàn ti kún eré ètò ìdìbà tó ń gbọ́ yín bàbá wa ẹ pẹ́ fún wa.
ẹ ṣe ó wá ránṣẹ́ sí àwọn chief rẹ̀ kò sí chief kankan tó wá dá lóhùn. so ńgbà tí gbogbo ẹ lọlẹ̀ tán ó wá gbé ìpè jáde láàárọ̀ ọjọ́ kejì ó wá gbé ìpè jáde ó wá ń ṣe ìpè fún àwọn chiefs wọ̀nyẹn. ẹgbọ́n
ètò yìí o.
ó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣépè fún àwọn chiefs pé ẹnu wọn ò ní kò láéláé wọn ò ní kò sí ìgbà tó máa fẹ́ ṣe tó máa ṣe bá àwọn chief yẹn ló ń ṣépè.
àwọn chief yẹn.
àwọn èèyàn wá ń sọ pé èpè àólẹ̀ ló ń bá
ìran Yorùbá wá sọ́ọ́dì.
mo ti kọ́ átíkù lórí ẹ̀ rí but àwọn èèyàn ṣe sọ it is not true. àólẹ̀ ò mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ Yorùbá là àwọn chiefs ẹ̀ ní Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ló mọ̀ ló ń ṣépè fún that's all. so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá sọ lọ́dọ̀ yín pé èpè àólẹ̀ ló ń jà ẹ̀ tètè dá lóhùn wípé àólẹ̀ ò ṣépè fáwọn Yorùbá.
Yorùbá àwọn ṣífù sọ̀gbé ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ wà níbẹ̀ yẹn ló ṣépè fún o.
that's all. àólẹ̀ ò ṣépè fún Yorùbá land o so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Ọlọ́run tiẹ̀ sọ ó ní Ọlọ́run gan ló tiẹ̀ ní àṣẹ ìbùkún àti èpè lọ́wọ́ ó ní ẹni tí ó ń sọ fún Ábúráhámù ó sì ń sọ fẹ́yìn náà bàbá wa ẹni tó bá bùkún yín ni yóò bùkún fún ẹni tó bá ṣe the otherwise òun náà rí the otherwise so ẹni ìbùkún ni yín níwọ̀n ìgbà tọ́lọ́run ò ti sọ fún èpè fún yín gbogbo èpè tán ń ṣẹ́ orí ara wọn ló ń lọ ẹni ìbùkún ni yín bàbá wa kò dẹ̀ sí gbogbo àwa tá à ń súnmọ́ yín tá kì í rí ìbùkún bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí ààbò torí láti ìgbà tá ìrìn àjò yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ààbò yẹn ní agbára both spiritually physically invisible and visible ààbò yìí ní ipọn mo wà lára àwọn tán mú ní àgọ́ ọlọ́pàá ìlábẹ́òkúta tán kó lọ séwu ẹran nígbà yẹn náà
demonstration ìjọ rally
ní jẹ́ ìkan nínú àwọn mẹ́tàlá
tán mú láàárọ̀.
ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa ibẹ̀ yẹn la wà tán ti ń pè yín ìgbà yẹn mi ò tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé màá ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ báyìí láti wá ẹ̀fà ṣe ló dàbí pé mo rọ́ náà bí mo ṣe ń wò ní ìgbà ọ̀dọ́ mo mọ̀ pé àwọn kan tún lè misinterpret mi wọ́n lè sọ pé ṣe la tó ń sọ but àwọn tí wọ́n ní òye ti mọ̀ kan tí à ń sọ nígbà náà lọ́hùn lójú ẹsẹ̀ àwọn kan tán mọ̀ yín náà ti ń pè yín àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ akin tí mò ń gbọ́ tẹ̀ ń sọ lórí fóònù rẹ̀ pé ẹ lè sunbẹ̀ yẹn mọ́jú sẹ́ ráìtì yín ní sẹ́ ẹ má bẹ̀rù wọ́n máa fi yín lẹ̀ lóòótọ́ àwọn ajitẹ́tẹ́ akínlájọ òjìdé gbogbo wọ́n máa fi wá lẹ̀ a máa padà sílé lọ́jọ́ yẹn àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ yàtọ̀ fáwọn tán bá ṣe àìgbọ́ràn sí ìrìn àjò yẹn tán bá ti ṣe àìgbọ́ràn sáńgẹ́lì yẹn o tá a lè fojú rí tá à ń fojú rí yín báyìí tán bá ti ṣe àgbọràn tán tẹ̀lé ìlànà yẹn blueprint yẹn sẹ́ẹ̀dì tá ń bẹ ṣe ń yànnà náà fún wa line upon line lẹ́sẹẹsẹ yìí àwọn nìkan náà ń kó sínú àwọn ewu tí eléyìí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Sunday tó kọjá sí táwọn yẹn àwọn yẹn ọ̀nà àìtọ́ ọ̀nà tiwa kọ́ nìyẹn ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa àwa náà ní yọ̀ǹkà àkọsílẹ̀ pé yọ̀ǹkà o àti bàbá wa Banji Akintoye o àti Chief Sunday Igboho àwa ò mọ̀ nípa eléyìí táwọn yẹn lọ ṣe lọ́jọ́ Sunday o bàbá wa ẹ pẹ́ fún wa gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá torí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ ọfà tán bá sọ́sẹ́ lómi ìsìn ó sì ti mú gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá.
mo fa igi ẹ̀tú mo yọ sọnù lẹ́yìn.
àmì àṣẹ.
ọfà yẹn ò ní ta mọ́.
àmì àṣẹ.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ló wà mùsíkì ní bó ta kò ní ta rárá.
àmì àṣẹ.
ó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Amen.
all over.
Amen.
Then the Yoruba people are a special people before God.
Amen.
We are united.
Amen.
We live upon the promise of God.
Amen.
We are a people of the covenant.
Amen.
That's it.
Ẹ ṣeun bàbá wa gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní láti èní lọ èní ní ọjọ́ kẹta oṣù kẹfà ọdún 2023 náà àjàgà náà ti wó báyìí.
Ó ti wó.
Àjàgà nígbà tá a ti dọ́dọ̀ ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi àṣẹ lé lọ́wọ́ láti kó wa kúrò lóko ẹrú àjàgà náà ó ti fọ́ so láti èní lọ gbogbo ẹ̀yin pásítọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá the indigenous Yorùbá clergymen nínú chọ́ọ̀chì yìí torí èmi ti bá pastors tó ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pàdé rí wọ́n ní ká preach ẹ̀ ká fi ṣe ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fúnra wa fáwọn ọmọ wa fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wípé Yorùbá land ṣe é jà fún Yorùbá people ṣe é jà fún ẹnu wa dẹ̀ ti kò èpè Awújalẹ̀ ò dẹ̀ ja ẹnikẹ́ni dẹ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ jẹ́ Muslim náà ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ máa bá wa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín kẹ́ fi ṣe wàásùn ó tó fi ṣe wàásùn then number 3 ẹ̀yin bàbá wa ní ti ìṣẹ̀ṣe torí ìṣẹ̀ṣe yẹn la bá lọ́wọ́ yín kó ní kálukú yẹn tó yà wọ́n ní ká jọ̀ náà pé à ń gbọ́ burú lẹ́nu abọ́ rẹ̀ pé káyé sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ṣe é jà fún ṣé Amẹ́ríkà la fẹ́ lọ jà fún àbí Russia.
tá a bá gbọ́ ẹnìbọ̀dì tó sọ ká dálẹ́kùn ìdílé rẹ̀.
tá a bá rí ẹni tó ń sọ àṣẹ ọ̀rọ̀ jáde àṣẹ tẹ̀lé látẹnu bàbá wa pé tá a bá rẹ́ni tó ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ní dàsóra tàbí nílé lójú ẹsẹ̀ ká bẹ́gilé ká sọ pé gbẹ́nu ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ má sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó tó gbèjà ó tó jà fún ojú òní tiwa o gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ọ̀rọ̀ láti gbọ́ dẹ́ wọ́n dẹ̀ tún ní ká sọ fún wa wípé nǹkan tó wà nílẹ̀ ó kọjá pé ọmọ yín ló wà ní presidency o pé ilé tó lọ o pé gbogbo nǹkan tí ó múnú wọn dùn ní inauguration tán ṣe ẹni wípé wọ́n ti jẹ lọ pé that means pé ẹ̀yin náà gbọ́ lẹ́nu gòyàn tó ń sọ pé pé inú òun dùn Nàìjíríà ti lò 60 years á tún lò 60 years míì ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀gbọ́n nǹkan tọmọ yín náà ń sọ tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa nǹkan tí ó wà united tó ń sọ pé ó wà united wọ́n ní rárá kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ o so ojú ò ní tì wá bàbá wa ó wo ní ká jẹ ẹran pẹlẹnu ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀nà fún òjẹ́ kó má dàbí òwe bàbá wa inú wa dùn níṣe lọ́lọ́run fi sí mi lọ́kàn pé tá a bá débí pé ká béèrè lọ́wọ́ yín kẹ́ ẹ̀ lè bá wa fa igi náà tu ó sì ti di fífà tu gbogbo igi tí àti fàtú lẹ́yìn ó di àṣẹ so gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pátá nílé lóko ẹjọ́ ká fi lè ṣe pa ọgbọ́n eléyìí tí bàbá yẹn sọ àpò ara ẹ̀ ló sọ sí àwọn kọ́ ni olórí aláṣẹ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá o gbogbo wa la mọ̀ o àdẹ̀mọ̀ ọ ní ojú tó yónú gbogbo ẹ̀ báyìí gbogbo ẹ̀ láti mọ̀ ẹ má bínú o so ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ orin yìí ká máa fi dágbére fúnra wa bàbá wa ẹ pẹ́ fún wa àbọ̀ ọlọ́run.
Broadcasting or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bibi Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB means business. The show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you, rather, put your signature on life.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world.
24/7.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio.
UK.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Well, and a very, very good afternoon and welcome to the Starr Radio UK network. And I say welcome. It is a very bright afternoon. I say shout out to those that have connected with us on the sister broadcast as well. I hope you can all hear us loud and clear. First and foremost, I'd like to appreciate my producer, Mr. Frank David, Mr. Archie, that are working tirelessly so that we can make sure we can get this program live on here every Wednesday. It is a new government in place. It is a letter sent to the president. It is a fuel subsidy. It is about the economy. Tinubu is complaining that we can't continue to fund subsidy for those in Ghana. The Cameroons are already protesting about the subsidy. There's a lot to discuss. I say shout out to Maize Gold, shout out to Bemileke, shout out to Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye, shout out to all the lovers of freedom, shout out to Nigerians, because we have to also respect your views. Shout out to the Biafra. We hope Tinubu will be having a proper conversation with the Biafra at the appropriate time as well. There is a lot happening, and it's all going to happen right here in the studio as we are just getting into the program. But first and foremost, let me appreciate my producer, Mr. Archie. And tomorrow, for those that are going to be joining us tomorrow, I'm sure Archie told you already, we will not be on air tomorrow. But don't worry, whatever we discuss today, myself and Archie will be discussing that on Friday, God's willing, when we come back on Friday. Shout out to my mom, shout out to my family, shout out to all the UK and everyone that have joined us around the globe. It is called the Starr Radio UK network, and every Wednesday I come on here. We look at the issues affecting, the indigenous people, the Nigerians, and as many of issues that are happening around the world. IGBOHO, thank you so much. Maize Gold, Bemileke, my beautiful mother, and so many of you that have already connected with the network. To all the media that are working around the clock on behalf of the Yoruba self-determination, happy birthday to my brother, my big one, Bedu magazine. We advise as many of you to pick up the magazine. It's only £10 or $10. And it's 1,000 naira. So there's no excuse for those of you at home that I don't have money. I know money is becoming a little bit stiff. Money is becoming stiff. When they say something is stiff, when they say something is akagon, money is very, very difficult to find in Nigeria, especially a country that has not prepared, for situation, especially around the world. There's a lot happening as well. So tonight, I have a lot to talk about, but I want to analyze, the first week of Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If you all remember, there was an election for those that are not part of Nigeria or those that are not conversant, with the goings in Nigeria. Nigeria is always called, the most populous black nation in the world. I don't know how true that is, because if you're following the news, Canada have literally, decided to ignore Nigeria as a part of the country that you can travel to without a visa. And I'm not sure why. So if you're following the situation around the world, you realize that Canada have omitted Nigeria. Maybe they are going to change that. I don't know. But what I can tell you officially is that Nigeria is not part of the country. Adeshola Adebayo, very good evening to you. And also, and likewise, those of you that are connected, Olawale Alabi, Grace Olushoto, our mother, Mrs. Motorayo Oluwasegun, shout out to you, Sharif Mohammed, Grandma Leah Jai, and Larry Lamina, Oladeji Kudus, and the rest of you, our grandmother Felicia Jagbe, and so many grandmothers as well, to my beautiful mother that have joined as well. But the most important thing is, to our fathers that are out there, Kunle Shita, say good evening, Ajibola as well. We do not abuse on this platform. We respect people's view. But what we tend to say to those that are watching and listening to us is, we believe we are all matured. I mean, those that want to support Bola Tinubu, they've been able to do so in the election. Some have disagreed with that, but there's still a court that is going on. One man went to more. Good evening to you. And these also say silver gold. Shout out to you as well. So before I go into the conversation, there's a letter that Akintoye, for those that are probably not aware of this man, is called Professor Adebanji Akintoye. He sent a letter. Olakunle, good evening to you. Good evening to Comrade Plan B, Allahu Baba, Akin Games, and the one-man show as well. One thing we got to understand is that, Tinubu is just a week into the office. He would not be able to attend to as many things. Shout out to those of you in Lagos State, my brother Yemi Fatoke, and as many of you that have connected on the sister broadcast as well. Tinubu government have kickstart. So there's a government in place already. So, when anybody tell you that we don't have a government, there is a government in place. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the number 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as we speak today. Iyalode Ijana Otafadbel, a shout out to you. You are actually watching us on the Starr Radio UK network. And I say thank you so much, mother, a grandmother as well. Good evening to you, Balogun Shegun. Keep your comment coming, and I promise you I'll read it out, even if I disagree with you. Because we don't tend to look at comment and avoid it. And people tend to say, you read comment. I say, yeah, but we are not the other media that refuse to look at your comments, because we are part of the engagement. Shout out to Prophet John Ogundele. And as everybody knows, I am a proud nationalist Yoruba man. I love the Yoruba. Shout out to you, our mothers, our fathers in the village, in every part of Yoruba land. Zazu. I hope he's not the same Zazu. Is Zazu now watching Niger Voices? Shagun Yovo. Shout out to you as well. Royal Anonymous, thank you so much. Yusuf Olalekan, you say small boy with the big engine. Osha. Mutiu, Prince David Omotayo, and as many of you that have joined the network this evening. My name is OLAMILEKAN, as a lot of you know. But one thing is, let me appreciate all our listeners from around the world. Nigeria has a lot of issues, and I don't know which one Bola Tinubu will be dealing with. But maybe we should start with this, because for over 63 years, Nigerians have been crying because of the negligence of government not taking care of Nigerians. So today, Nigerians are asking the question, who benefit from the crude oil? Who actually is benefiting from the crude oil of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? There's what they call subsidy. So if you're not aware of subsidy is something that is done in different parts of the world just to help, the citizen. So Nigeria have been subsidizing petrol to Nigerians for a very long time. And I say very, very long time. But it seems that there's only few marketers. And Bola Tinubu have met with the marketers. I am reading now from the Financial Times about 6 days ago. 6 days ago. And it actually says, Nigerian president moved to end the petrol subsidy, and these are actually sparked chaos. And I'm saying chaos. There is a complete, total chaos. There is not law. There's not yet law. Okay, this is the Zazu of Odua Nation. Hey, Idowu Michael, I say good evening to you, and thank you so much, my brother, for joining us as well. Taiwo, our sister, we have a lot of beautiful sister, and I love every one of you, brotherly love, because sometimes when you say you love somebody, I have a good family, and I'm happy with my wife and my family as well. But I do appreciate as many of our sisters, especially those of you that are not presently in Nigeria. It is not easy to be outside the country. It's a very, very difficult one. Aziz, good evening and welcome to the program all the way from Miami. So 6 days ago, the Financial Times says there's a rush to stock up fuel that has now causes long queues. It is only in Nigeria that it has not taken Bola Tinubu 24 hours that he actually announced that he's not the one that removed the subsidy. The former the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, removed the subsidy, but it seems that the problem is going to be on Tinubu government. There is no budget for the subsidy in the 2023 budget. So by the end of this month, June, the subsidy completely goes down. But last week, Monday, exactly a week and a half ago, while Tinubu was still addressing Nigerians in that inauguration at the Igbo Square with a lot of ambassadors, diplomats from around the world, something went spark. The price of petrol went up as quickly as possible. And I asked the question, why are the petrol pump increasing the price when Tinubu have not actually changed, the price that you pay for it? Many Nigerians bought the petrol at the old price. But for whatever reason, it is only in Nigeria that, people inconvenience themselves. Bola Tinubu changed announced it that it can no longer, support it was part of their manifesto. Even Peter Obi, that is lying. Peter Obi says that, he has to remove petrol subsidy. Atiku said the same thing apart from Kwankwaso, but Peter Obi is saying something else entirely, as we know right now. But what I want to bring back to your memory is that something doesn't seem to be working. There seems to be a mistrust. Let's first listen to the former minister, because Tinubu doesn't have all his ministers, but I can tell you that he has actually put in the SGF today, so that we now have the SGF. But Fashola said this some few weeks before Tinubu came to power. Let's listen to Babatunde Fashola. For those of you that are not aware with Babatunde Fashola, he was the former governor of Lagos State, and he had to say this before Tinubu came to power. Let's listen to Fashola.
To think of it. Because we see subsidy only as price. Okay? But the truth is that subsidy is policy driven by law and financing. The 2023 budget has no subsidy component beyond June. So as a matter of policy, this outgoing government has decided we can't fund the subsidy anymore.
Okay, you heard that very well before we play the remaining few seconds of that audio. That is the Minister of Petroleum saying categorically that subsidy has been removed and it's gone forever. It's not coming back. So if any Nigerian is still hoping that there will be government to support the subsidy, then maybe you should start thinking of how you will survive in Nigeria. Because subsidy is not brought into the 2023 budget. So, and we are talking about almost 300 and something billion naira on a monthly basis. That is a huge amount of money that's being paid to marketers. And I've been following, some of the media of Bola Tinubu. He has a lot of media that are working tirelessly, for the government on Twitter. And I'm going to be telling you what they are saying, because Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has now met with the marketers. Let me appreciate, our mother, Mrs. Rafiat. I hope I didn't massacre the name, Mommy. Prince Adekunle, thank you so much. And keep your comment coming. Benga, your daily Odua. I will be reading some of your comment out. Olufashola Fatioshi. Idowu Michael said the issue of location 9 called Nigeria will continue happening because Nigeria was established on lies. Olushola said, White Lion, King of the Jungle, book with love you so much. Yoruba nation of going back. We move. Good evening to you, Rachel, our mother. And thank you so much. Keep your comment coming. And Iyalode Jana Fatima say, you are welcome, White Lion, Olayomi Koiki. So, let's finish what Fashola was saying there. It's just 21 minutes past. There's a lot to discuss. I still have to talk about the letter of Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But I am discussing the first week of Tinubu's government. I mean, normally Tinubu has a target of 100 days. So within 100 days, we need to know his plans, what he has for Nigerians. Also, he visited the NSA, the Nigerian Security Agency. Very, very important. Security is the key in any country around the world. If you miss the security, as Buhari failed, the former president Muhammadu Buhari should now be going into ICC for crime against humanity. We're going to come back to that, but let's listen to Fashola, because 29,000 Yoruba people died in the 8 years of Buhari. Time for us to take him to ICC so that he can start talking why he couldn't protect Nigerians for 8 years.
End of our
Thank you so much. That's the beauty about Yoruba. And also, shout out to Dr. Okebianukosi. I'm going to be telling you what they have in plan. There's something coming up. It's fantastic for the Yoruba people, and it's got to do with the Yoruba language. There's a lot happening, but the most important now is let's first give Tinubu the first week. Let's see how Tinubu has performed in the first week in office.
As a matter of law, the Nigerian people have passed a law to end subsidy in June.
It says the Nigerian people. So Fashola is referring to you, that you, the Nigerian people, actually, the last flight is Yoruba nation. Well, I love that. Sulex, the last flight. How many people are going on the last flight? How many people will go on the last flight? But the only flight left is the Yoruba flight. How many of you want to travel on the last flight? I love that, Wow, I never thought of that. I should start using that now. The last flight, plane to Kutama Figbera, Ouni Yoruba nation. Maybe I should speak in Yoruba. How many of you are going on the last flight? How many Yoruba people or the other that wants to travel with us on the last flight? I love that so much. Wow, interesting. So let's go back to, Bola Tinubu at 24 minutes past. It is still Starr Radio UK. It's called the Niger Voices. Some are even arguing that, Yomi, you are supporting Yoruba nation. Why calling it Niger Voices again? We don't like that name. Well, like I said, let's still manage it for the time being. But I'm sure there will be a lot to discuss in Niger Voices around the Yoruba nation, the Biafra nation. Let's go back again to Bola, to the former Minister of Works, Babajide Fashola.
That's my own perspective. Because it was made by the National Assembly, both chambers. Before then, the Nigerian people had passed the Petroleum Industry Act to say this thing was end. In my view, there's no subsidy to remove, it's been removed. A sunset date has been set for it by law. What remains for the new administration, in my view, is how to manage the impact and what it will do
How is Tinubu going to manage the impact? Once again, thank you so much to my producer, Mr. Archie, Mr. Frank. For those of you that are not in Nigeria, I mean, this is what Nigerians use to buy, the petrol in 21st century. I mean, you go to the petrol station, and sometimes you remove the, your generator. You remove the what we call the way the petrol actually stored, and you take that to the petrol station, whether the one in your car or your generator. But the week that Tinubu has been in government, from the 29th till today, the 7th day of June, it's been chaos across the country. A big chaos, a massive chaos. How is Tinubu going to manage this chaos is the question. We saw that the NLC were just about to go on a strike. I mean, just literally about to go on that strike, but that has been kept for some more days with the hope that the government will increase salary. The government will be able to pay as many average Nigerians that are living in poverty. But this again is called
UK. This is Starr Radio UK. In your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. Broadcasting worldwide.
Zazu Odua says, I will be the first to get in that Yoruba Nation flight with my family. I will be number 2. I don't know about the next person. I think Baba Akintoye will be number 1. Let's not be partial. Let's give Baba Akintoye the room to be the first person on that flight. And then Zazu Odua, you will be number 2. And I promise you, I will be number 3. You can also listen to us on...
In your car, at home, on your smartphone. In your car, at home, on your smartphone.
Mrs. Grace Olushoto went on to say that exactly the last flight is Yoruba Nation, myself and my children and the family will be number... We can't do the same thing we do in Nigeria. Which one is number 1? When the person that told us did not even say is number 1. Zulex, minister, told us the last flight is Yoruba Nation. Quickly, Zazu was very smart. Zazu Odua went ahead to say, I'll be number 1. And I said, I'll be number 2. And I realized that we can't do that. We should give Baba Akintoye number 1. So, Mrs. Grace, you will be number 3. Mesgo will be number 4. I'm arranging it according to time. This is again...
Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio.
I think I can reposition myself as number 3. I will give that to my mom. Then I will take number 4. Mesgo will take number 5. Now let's come back. But Tinubu says something that is quite interesting. And what the Tinubu say is now creating a lot of problem. The moment Tinubu announced that, I'm sorry, Nigerians, I would love to give you more subsidy, but we can't be paying for. Let me let you hear from Tinubu himself in a clip that I prepared for as many of you. There's a lot of videos that I'm going to be playing, but it's going to be coming in audio version. And this is what the President Bola Tinubu actually said just after the announcement of the subsidy. I'm still trying to find that particular. It's just about 30 seconds, and I guess this is it. It's going to be tough. Tough decision.
Why should I be paying subsidized petrol?
Fashola has been paying subsidized petrol.
For Cameroon.
For Niger. For Niger. No, oh, sorry, I take that again. He actually didn't say Fashola. He said, how can I be paying subsidy for, let's listen again. And this is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu. People call him Jagaba. Some call him Ashiwaju. But the question is Shasiwaju or Jagaban going to respond to Professor Banji Akintoye as a Yoruba man to Yoruba man, or as a president to the Yoruba self-determination movement, time will tell. But we are still discussing the first week of Jagaban. Let's listen to Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
It's going to be tough decisions. Why should I be paying subsidized petrol for Cameroon, for Niger, for Benin Republic? No matter how long you protest, we are going to remove subsidy.
No matter how long you protest, Bola Tinubu says we are going to remove subsidy. But it seems that a lot of Nigerians are getting the inside of what Aso Rock looks like. How many of you have been following some of the videos released by the media of Bola Tinubu? And I think some Nigerians are a little bit more, excited. Because during 8 years of Buhari was Akagon. You know, when there's something is Akagon, he's a president that was Akagon. He was always Akagon. He's always looking like somebody that wants to swallow somebody. He spent most of these years here in UK while he should be in Nigeria, looking after the economy, the insecurity. But it seems that there's a new sheriff in town, as a lot of people are saying on Twitter, on the social media. Make sure you follow Star Radio UK, and you can also listen to us every
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
There's a new sheriff in town. Shout out to every single one of you that is listening from around the world. This is the Star Radio UK network. Idewumai can say the Bala Blue, the Agbado, and the corn. He hasn't done any misgaffe yet, but I think I saw him tipped over a little bit. Not tip over, but like somebody that was during his visit to NSA. But we hope Tinubu will be fit as mud because he has a task ahead. But for those of you that are joining us for the very, 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 very first time, this is the way we normally welcome you. So we say welcome to those of you that have joined us once again. This is Olayomi Koiki on the Star Radio UK network. So the picture behind is a good picture. And the reason why I said it's a good picture is got a lot of, people that are trying to solve your problem, our problem, so that there will be no protest, there will be no strike. Because the NLC immediately last week announced to Nigerians that we are going on a full-scale nationwide protest. And when they say nationwide protest, maybe you the diaspora don't know what they call nationwide protest. There will be no airline going to Nigeria. So you will not be able to visit Nigeria until things are resolved. I remember my mom, I think it was in 2002 during Jonathan, or 2006, I'm not too sure, the actual year, during that first subsidy strike as well. My mom was caught up in that subsidy in Nigeria, and she couldn't get back to UK for a very long time. My question to those of you that are listening to me from different parts of the world, the comment I want to read now is, do you, as Nigerians, some say, me I be Yoruba man, me I be Biafra, which one be Nigeria? But for now, we are still Nigerians because Nigeria is still a country, but we are working for those of us that believe in self-determination, which I, Olayomi Koiki, am fully 100% Yoruba nationalist. I don't think Tinubu can do anything. But my question to those of you that are listening to us, before I read the article of the Financial Times 6 days ago, the question I'm asking is, what is your take on the subsidy? Do you think that Tinubu government or Buhari's government have done the needful by removing the subsidy? Mrs. Grace Olushoto say, I have changed it because we have to give honor to those who deserve it. So Professor Baba ADEBANJI Akintoye family, number 1. Chief Sunday IGBOHO Adeyemo, number 2. My own family, your family, you said number 2. Olayomi Koiki, number 3. Wow, interesting. Okay, that was in 2010, 2011. My mom was in Nigeria and she got caught up in the subsidy, protest and strike. My question to all our viewers around the world is, Do you agree that it is the right thing to do to remove that subsidy because it is not making any headway, it is not helping an average Nigerian? I want to read a comment from those of you that are listening to us. Zazuze said, increase Baba, Dodaga. I hope it lasts longer this time. What is Dogaga? Dodaga. There's a lot of slangs that comes out so many times, and sometimes I get lost, especially with some of our sisters' broadcasts as well. Do you think that Tinubu removing that subsidy, maybe we should listen again to Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the number 16 precisely. Maybe it will be the end of Nigeria. Maybe Tinubu will be the end. But it seems that El-Rufai is a dangerous man that needs to be watched. He said clearly that there will never be a Christian governor in Kaduna State. That short man devil should be watched, because that can inflame as many problems that Kaduna is facing already. I'm going to be talking about that later. Let's listen again to Bola Tinubu. They call him Ashiwaju, they call him the Jagaban, the Bugo, they call him all kind of names, but we say he's just the president for their president of Nigeria for 8 years. He's not the president of the Yoruba people, even though he's from the Yoruba side. Well, let's listen to him again.
It's going to be tough decisions. Why should I be paying subsidized petrol?
Welcome, Mr. Olatije.
For the game.
Okay.
For Benin Republic.
No matter how long you protest,
we are going to remove subsidy.
We are going to remove subsidy. So Tinubu is very clear. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very, very clear that subsidy is gone forever. I am now asking Nigerians, or the Yoruba, the Biafra, the Middle Belt, the Ijaws, anyone out there listening, do you think it was the right thing to remove subsidy? Comrade Plan B went on to say Nigeria is equal to crime. You are quite right, because a lecturer was massacred. Did I say massacre? No, was assassinated in front of his house. He's a university lecturer in University of Ibadan. The crime in Nigeria continued to grow. Since Tinubu came to power, I'm sorry to say, but 180 people have been killed again by the terrorists. 180 Nigerians have died in the first week of Tinubu in office. Wow. There was no movement for 7 days between the 1st of January 7th to January 2011. Good evening to you, Olamilekon Zobo, and welcome to the program. My name is Koiki, and this is Starr Radio UK. Good evening to our mother, Olu T. Bumi. Good evening to Olu003. Good evening to you, to Zamania Yemi. Good evening to you, and good evening to as many of you that have joined us on the Instagram network as well. And welcome. Do you think that Tinubu has done the right thing to remove or permanently say we cannot fund the subsidy anymore? I mean, we're talking about almost 380 billion naira monthly. Wow. How many of these marketers are there? Now, let me read quickly. At exactly 39 minutes past 6 p.m. local time in London, we say 39 minutes past 1800 hours, which is a 24 hours clock. This is the Financial Times 6 days ago. Nigeria president moved to end petrol subsidies. This sparked chaos. There was chaos in Duguri, there was chaos in Abuja, there was chaos everywhere. The rush to stock up the fuel causes long queues at the service stations and immediately became scarcity. A proposal by the Nigerian new president to remove the costly fuel subsidies has sparked a rush to snap up cheap petrol, and this led to long queues outside the gas station. I mean, the Americans, they call it the gas station, but in Nigeria, they say petrol station, Obalende petrol station, oh wow, oh, show the petrol station. So we don't call it the gas station, we call it the petrol station across Africa, most populous country. When I hear that word, my body say, do you know that today we have not been included from Canada that have given Barbados, no, Antigua, and some other countries I'm going to mention, free leverage. And I say free. They can literally become, citizens to travel to Canada visa free. Why is Canada not giving us visa free? Because as many Nigerians are going to run away, they're not going to come back. So some 3 hours ago, I posted Canada has announced visa free for 13 countries. Nigeria, most populous black nation, is not included. Good evening to you, Alhaji Aremu Alakufo. Adeniyi Adejubril, good evening to you. Prince Adekunle say, is not how far, is how well. Yoruba nation, no going back. Welcome to you. Good evening to the program, Mrs. Esther. Breaking news, Tinubu escaped poisonous knife attack. Really? Is that a breaking news? Are we sure? Let me quickly check that because somebody is saying some kind of breaking news there. Maybe it's a joke. Let's remind ourselves that this is a platform and whatever we say out there can travel very, very fast as well. So I'm going to check that just to make sure that that is not happening. All I can say from those that are the media aid of Tinubu says, and I quote, President Bola Tinubu meets with the oil marketers over the fuel subsidy. I think that could be a joke. Maybe. I'm just looking at the Twitter to see if there's any news filtering through on that. But if there's any news on that, let us know. We will continue to monitor, the news network as well. Governors have now rallied support for subsidy removal, other policies of President Tinubu administration. Good evening to you, Mrs. Elizabeth Adesoya, and the rest of you. Samson Olubi said, good evening, Mr. Quicker. That man is joking, is a joker. Okay. 8F19, welcome to the program. President need advice, 20 money is going. 20. President need advisor. Crime should never be prosecuted in Nigeria since all the elite politicians are non-criminals. So criminalizing should be legalized in the zoo country. I will be nice with my comment, but at the same time promise to say it as it is. Well, you don't have to be nice. You can just say it as it is and be rest assured that we will read it out as well. Shout out to those of you in Paris, Mr. Olariwaju and Alhaji. Why is it that 13 countries can now travel to Canada, Morocco, Panama, Antigua and Barbados, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, Costa Rica, Uruguay, Seychelles, Argentina, Thailand, Philippines, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and Grenada, but Nigeria is missing? Why is Canada not giving us a free visa? Why is it that we are more than country that nobody wants to appreciate us as the most populous black nation, just as the Financial Times has identified us to be? If we are the most populous black people around the globe, how come then we cannot get a free visa to Canada? Once again, this is still the Starr Radio UK network. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I always say, it is again.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car, at home, on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Again, subsidy removal. Tinubu now direct Economic Council to work on palliative. A lot of Indomie noodles will be coming out. A lot of sugar, Maggi, Gari, Ewa, Agbado. The news coming says subsidy removal. The President Bola Tinubu has now direct Economic Council to work on the palliative. My question to those of you, good evening to you, Mr. Balogun Shegun, and welcome to those of you that are the quiet and the silent listeners. Adeniyi Adejubril, good evening to you and welcome to the Starr Radio UK network. This is how we are discussing the first week of Bola Tinubu.
At home, on your smartphone. The best radio show. The best radio.
It is called the best radio show. Shout out to all our grandmothers. Shout out to those of you in Benin Republic, in Togo, in Libya, in United Arab Emirates. Hey, my beautiful sister, a big auntie, Temi, welcome to the program. Molara Yabo Ajala as well. I say shout out to you, even if you're not here with us at the moment. Shout out to Yeyoge and Iwa Beluewa. All those of you around the world, my question is it the right thing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu to remove the subsidy. Again, this is
Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr.
It is called the Starr Radio UK Network, and my name is OLAMILEKAN. Shout out to my producer. The fuel crisis erupted at the start of the week after the President Bola Tinubu making his first address as the president abruptly revealed that the petrol subsidy is costing Nigerian government. Guess what? Last year alone, Nigerian government paid $10 billion. You heard me very well. Yes. Adewale Owolabi said, good evening to you. Welcome to the program. Last year alone, the federal government of Nigeria, thank you so much, all the way in Paris, Mr. Olarewaju. Happy birthday to my other sister in Paris. Her birthday was yesterday. I can now see why some of us, we have a lot of different energy. I'm going to mention her name in just about a few minutes. The name stuck on me. Thank you so much, my beautiful auntie Temi. This is the 7th day of June 2023. And as we say, Yoruba nation is non-negotiable. Do you also know that Nnamdi Kanu, right inside the custody, went out to say, through his legal team, Aloy Ejimako, that the Biafra is not, I love that word, Biafra is non-negotiable. Wow. You thought that they can kill his spirit. Kentos, my beautiful auntie, Kentos, our baby. All the way in Manchester. Like I said, I promise those of you in Manchester, shout out to those in Manchester, Elijah Ironrobade, and my friend, Oremi Onibuedi. I have a friend that is doing a lot in Manchester, and the Nigerian communities and the Yoruba communities, the Igbo communities, the other tribes that are living in Manchester, in part of England, in Scotland. Shout out to those of you in Wales. Some say, Koiki, you don't mention us now. Okay, shout out to those of you in Libya. Shout out to those of you around the world. All the way from the Starr Radio UK network, Joe Latasso say, I love you, brother. I love you too much as well. Ruth, good evening to you. Shout out to everywhere you are around the world, in Japan, in Malaysia, in Australia. What country again? Shout out to Canada, but Canada is not giving us a free visa. Shout out to Bishop Adeyemo. Shout out to Dr. Okebi Orukosi, Dr. Mrs. Janet Fashakin, the rest of the Yoruba Misha. Shout out to Dennis, GR1. Shout out to, every single one of you. And also, most important, shout out to those of you in Turkey. Shout out to those of you in Cyprus, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Cotonou, in Ketualake. Shout out to those of you in the Yoruba land. This again is Starr Radio UK. Last year, make una hear very well, make us speak broken English. Last year, our government did pay $10 billion for subsidy. What? I can now see why it's a big business. I can now see why there's a lot of crime involved in that subsidy. Shout out to our father, Oluwashola Fatuashe. You say, I will be number 4. La lie. We have already taken number 4. You have to go and be on the queue. How many Yoruba people wants to go on the last flight on the Yoruba nation? We have a plane, not the Nigerian Air, that cost us 83 billion. Just to put the air logo and then return it back. I mean, Nigeria is just a crime scene that needs to be breaking into different particles of nation so that everybody can develop their nation and we pay whatever debt that we have. Buhari water bill has been thrown out. Hey, congratulations! We are excited. Imagine the former president wanted to sell our waterways. Imagine they will sell Apapa, they will sell Oshogbo. This Buhari is not doing very well. He was going to sell off our waterways. The former president is a joker, and we have been able to defeat him because now confirmation is saying that Buhari water bill has been thrown out by the House of Assembly. Thanks to Almighty God and Anwalale. What a joke that man was. One of the most wicked presidents we've ever come across in the history of Nigeria. We must never even think about Nigeria again until everyone stop talking about the right to self-determination of the people. Ọpẹ́ o, ọpẹ́, o ṣé o, o ṣé o, o ṣé bàbá, o ṣé You know when the footballer go and play football, the Nigerian squad, but this time around, Baba. It's a figure of speech. Thank you so much. I know that my beautiful mother, a grandma, Esther, shout out to Mas B. Buhari wanted to sell our waterways. Imagine the Osogbo will now become the federal government water. Ew! Like Yeyedara will say, ew! Yeyedara go away. He say, ew! Shout out to Yoruba Wuyi. Shout out to every single one of you. Buhari, the most wicked president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We must never see another Buhari again. Now let's come back. Tinubu say, I can't pay 10 billion. It's too much. Chrissy say, I will arise and shine for my light at come for real. Shalom to those of you. Shout out to our mother, Comfort Ologunja, and the rest of you. Nigeria must now start getting the message. Subsidy is gone. How are we going to manage this is the question we should be asking now. Shout out to our grandmother, Folashade Ojo, and welcome to the program. It is called The Niger Voices. And shout out to my producer. Shout out to Yemi Fatoke and the rest of you that are listening quietly. If subsidy cost us $10 billion, do you think that the same $10 billion can be now diverted to something else? Do you think that Tinubu having a $10 billion somewhere can now use that to probably support as many Nigerians, and that maybe poverty is not going to go away anytime soon, but just maybe. Many Nigerians responded to the announcement, which was a departure from the prepared remark circulated earlier, by rushing to stock up before the subsidies were removed, sparking long lines at the fuel stations, and immediately there was a scarcity. A tripling of petrol price by the state oil on Wednesday sparked further panic. Do you know that Cameroons are already protesting because Tinubu removed the subsidy, or should we say Buhari removed it? As we speak today, the sharp increase went as close to 557 naira per liter. If I bring that back to dollar rate, that's about £1, $1.20. If you bring that to pound sterling, you're talking about just about 80 something or 90p per liter. So for the benefit of those that are not, understanding the naira equivalent. Good evening to you, Mrs. Ruth, and thank you so much once again. Keep your comment coming, and I'll be reading those comments out. My question is Alex.Mamu 1.42. I love that name. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Do you think that Tinubu has done the needful? How is he going to manage it? He has already said from the headline I'm reading here now, Tinubu has now directed the Economic Council to work on the palliative. In 7 minutes, don't go anywhere, because we're going to discuss the letter Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye sent to Bola Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the number 16. Shout out to you, Albert Olaoluwa. Let's go back again. It has cost Nigerians arms and legs, a country that is full of poverty in the first place, a country where an average Nigerians do not have $1. And we are not joking. You might think, come on, don't make this up. For those that do not understand, let me break it down. Nigeria is the capital poverty of the world. $1 is the expectation of the United Nations for somebody to be able to feed on. You will not be able to do so, as so many Nigerians, according to the data, are those living in abject poverty. We have about 200 million Nigerians today. But as we speak right now, there is just over 90 million Nigerians that are living in abject poverty. 63% highlight of the 2022 Multidimensional Poverty Index survey revealed that 63% of persons living within Nigeria, wow, I thought it was 90. That number is wrong. The numbers of Nigerians in abject poverty, get your pen, don't get shocked, stay tuned, drink water, get a cup of tea. get something called 133 million Nigerians as we speak today are living in abject poverty. That means they do not have $2 in their account for them to be able to eat 3 square meals every blessed day, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday. How do we manage this situation? How do we allow Nigerians to have a better life? Prince Adeola, thank you so much. Ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́, ọmọ kóòtù òjíire, according to the time, not that ìyá Dagboru. Because that woman is a Dagboru woman. We're talking about Dupe Onitiri. She's a Dagboru woman. She came into the movement to destroy it. And Baba Akintoye say, we have nothing to do with her. 5 minutes, I'm going to be telling you everything about the letter that Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye wrote on behalf of the Yoruba Nation movement, the YSDM, to President Bola Tinubu. But Nigerians, we have 133 million of you that are living in abject poverty. That is a staggering number. 133 million Nigerians are living in abject poverty. Persons. These are persons living within Nigeria that cannot eat 3 square meals. Very, very poor people. Very, very poor. Extremely poor. So my question is, how is the president going to deal with these problems? How is Bola Tinubu going to manage these crises? The protest has been put on hold. The doctors were meant to go on strike. They put that on hold, which is very good because we don't want doctors to go on strike. That is going to create a lot of catastrophe. But my question is, how is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, going to manage 133 million Nigerians? Let me say this to those that do not understand how things work in Nigeria. The moment that petrol price went up, the cost of living, the goods and services, from transportation to food to electricity to every basic things of life automatically went up. Even, I don't know, how much is still the pure water? I hope it's still 20 naira and 3 for 50 naira. How much are they selling gala? Comrade Plan B went on to say, I want to go on the Yoruba Nation too. I should be on number 5, I think. Wow, so many people are now trying to squeeze in. RIP to Dupe Mafia. She would never reincarnated again. Mo Otilo finally and never to resurface again. She passed on to glory since May 29, when she deceived the Yoruba people that our interim government will be established on the 29th. But Tinubu is already in power. Tinubu is already controlling the government. And it seems Mo, as some of our followers call her, has already lule. She has deceived the Yoruba people with her lies, her continuous lies and lies and lies. We never know that there's so many women like her, but she's a woman that told as much lies. Lai Muhammad has got a new job, just like Dupe Onitiri. Dupe Onitiri will no longer surface again. She has told lies, and her lies is now hunting her down. We are just 2 minutes into Baba Akintoye's letter, Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye, to Bola Tinubu. As I welcome you once again, I say good evening. El-Rufai, I'll be talking about him later on before the end of the program. A very, very dangerous man. We should run away from him. El-Rufai said, no Christian. This is not from me. It is actually from El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State. El-Rufai said clearly, there will never be any Christian governor in the state. The governor, Uba Sani, also went on to say some few hours ago, some former governors. Remember that Dr. Malafia told us this, but he's also confirming that now. I'm talking about, Uba Sani. Who is Uba Sani? Let me tell you a bit of Uba Sani. Uba Sani is the new replacement, a Muslim for the Kaduna State governor. He was born in 1970. He's 52 years old. He had education at the University of Abuja, main campus. He also went to University of Calabar. Uba Sani is a Nigerian engineer and a politician who has served as the governor of Kaduna State since 2023. He was previously the senator. I mean, these are criminal politicians. What they do is they go as a senator. When they complete senator, they go as a governor. When they finish governor, they go back, just like Amosun have done. Amosun started as a senator. He went back to become a governor for 8 years. He has run back to be a senator. These politicians never want to leave. Uba Sani is now saying something that I want us to take note before we move into the next conversation. Uba Sani said some former governors, maybe El-Rufai is included, maybe Ganjude is included, we don't know. But the same thing he's saying, Dr. Malafia told us the same thing before he was killed. Uba Sani said, and I quote, some former governors dined while jẹun pẹ̀lú àwọn terrorists and compromised the Northwest security surveillance. That is something that we need to escalate. Uba Sani sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé àwọn gọ́vùnà ilẹ̀ Haúsá wọ́n ń jẹ pẹ̀lú àwọn terrorists. Olakunle said, this weather is going well with Koiki program. It remains almost... Yeah, the weather is so beautiful out there. I can see it right from the window. It's very, very beautiful. And again, shout out to everyone that have joined us. When we told people that, greetings to Alagbala, thank you so much for joining us, and those that have, listening to us as well, on a very quiet note. Zazu Odua said his family already knew what kind of son they born. Reason why it was named El-Rufai. He's a dangerous man. If you listen to the 5 minutes of what El-Rufai just released, Nigerians should be very, very careful of that man. El-Rufai is a dangerous short man devil. Very, very dangerous man. Dangerous human being for humanity. Humanity must hold him accountable for atrocity. Prince Adiola say, Iyami Dada Atigbemileke, I'm doing great. So there's a lot of greetings and pleasantry going on in the comment section. Now, let's come to Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye letter to President Bola Tinubu. What do we know in that letter? What can we say regarding that letter? Remember, we wrote letter to the former president that has now classified Nigerians as cow. The former president Buhari said, dealing with his cow is much better than dealing with Nigerians. So the question is, why did he wanted to be your president? Buhari said clearly that dealing with his cows is much better than dealing with you Nigerians. Koiki, please, I want you to pronounce Dupe for us in a British language. Dupe Onitiri. My name is Dupe Onitiri. Dupe Virulent Virus Woman. She's a virus woman that infected the Yoruba Nation movement. She's a virus Dagboru woman. And we hope not to see somebody like her again in this movement. We've always had saboteurs. During the apartheid of Mandela, there was saboteurs. Sankara, there was saboteur. Duper Onitiri, the virulent woman. She's a virus woman. This Kamanja. Even our media are no longer having anything to say because they're getting tired. They are not talking about Tinubu when they should be talking about their interim government. And we hope that we remove those that have committed treason. Because those that wanted to attack the police station and the radio station on behalf of those scammers. Duper Onitiri, this Kamanja woman that came into our movement and decided to deal with us, took our 5 million petition. And as we speak today, according to the time, she came in and took 5 million of our petition. And as we speak today, nobody knows where those data are. And we keep asking her, where have you kept our data? Dupe Onitiri, the scammer, the 419, that decided to try to overthrow Baba Akintoye and IGBOHO by telling lies against this integrity of these two most important people in the movement. Alex Mamo, thank you so much and welcome to the program. Dupe in English means scammer. Olawale Alabi, my brother, says subsidy removal is good but must be invested truly into the electricity. Dupe, okay. When they say dupe, when somebody dupe you, you got to run away or report them to the FBI or the MI5 or the Interpol so they can arrest that person because Dupe has actually duped us. Dupe actually duped every single one of us by removing the 5 million petition. She closed down the website, and as we speak today, nobody knows where those websites are. So the question to Dupe Monitor is, where is that website that was holding the petition? Why is that website no longer working? 5 million Yoruba people put the petition, worked tirelessly, day and night in every platforms in homes. You gave the false impression you are operating like hush puppy. You should be killed into the system that you killed because the petition that you took from us has damaged the lives of so many people. So Dupe Onitiri killed so many Yoruba people by removing their names, and we don't know where those names are. So you have actually destroyed some lives already because some are becoming concerned and worried because of their names. Nobody knows where those names are, date of birth, telephone numbers. And the question to Dupe is, when are you going to return the 5 million petition you took from Yoruba people? But tonight, I am going to read the statement sent to the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, on behalf of the Yoruba people by a Yoruba leader, the only leader recognized around the globe. If any other person is presenting themselves as a leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement, somebody like the scammer 419 Dupe Onitiri, please do away from her or report her to the nearest police station. Shout out to Mrs. Comfort Ologunja and welcome on board. I am going to read all this letter without interruption because this is going to be the first time we're doing so on the Starr Radio UK network on Niger Voices. So listen and let's go through it. The Yoruba self-determination movement. The Yoruba self-determination movement. On this historical occasion of the inauguration of our beloved, I think the camera was a little bit covered. On this historical occasion of the inauguration of our beloved brother, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, I, Professor Banji Akintoye, the Chairman of the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, for and on behalf of the overwhelming majority of the Yoruba people, home and in the diaspora, worldwide, who seek self-determination and the sovereignty of the Yoruba nation, deeply and sincerely rejoice with our brother on the fulfillment of his political ambition to preside over the affairs of the Nigerian state. Exactly 8 years ago, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's energetic and sincere, dedicated assistance to another Nigerian citizen enabled that citizen to rise to this same position of the President and Commander-in-Chief of Nigeria. Therefore, none of us citizens of Nigeria can now say that he does not deserve the same elevation for himself today. Indeed, his elevation to the presidency of Nigeria against all odds that we Nigerians are painfully familiar with and against all the man-made contortions of order that characterize Nigeria demonstrated clearly the tenacity of the spirit that characterized his political career. These man-made contortions of order demonstrate the fundamental bankruptcy, the essential non-sustainability of the Nigerian state, which our brother must now lead. It is a particular noteworthy that all the electoral cycle under the successfully fraudulent constitution of Nigeria since 1959 have ended up unalterably in controversies that are irresolvable and that are ultimately never resolved. That same scenario remains with us today. Nigeria stands at this moment in a devastating pains of an unresolved nationality problem as a highly prospective leader of another African country remarked recently. The nations of Nigeria hate one another, and the hatred has steadily escalated since independence. And yet, the political leaders of Nigeria strangely choose to keep Nigeria as one country. Today, Nigerians stand at a grave moment when the nationality problem and the hatred have been fearfully aggravated by decision and effort of one of Nigeria's nations, the Fulani nation, to conquer and break and subjugate all the other nations of Nigeria. We stand at a grave moment when there will be conqueror nation is still killing, maiming, destroying, still seeking to make Nigeria the bloodiest war zone on the African continent. We have experienced fully 8 years during which there will be conqueror nation has enjoyed total freedom to carry out its invasions, killings, destroying across the face of Nigeria, while enrolling the services of the foreign terrorist organizations in the invasion, all with very obvious complicity by the government and the security forces of Nigeria, with a very loudly announced invitations by the president of Nigeria to the non-Nigerians to come migrating from all over Africa to Nigeria without any travel document. Huge masses of hostile non-Nigerians, all ethnic kinsmen of the will-be conqueror nation, have been assisted to flood into the Nigeria in order to reinforce the nations of Nigeria. Yoruba have lost estimated 29,000 Yoruba people to these rampages. Countless Yoruba men and women have suffered degradation of being raped by the invaders. Famine has been destroyed in a large swath of the Yoruba farmland, and a whole Yoruba nation now faces the danger of devastating famine. In fact, there will be a conqueror nation once embark on a loudly proclaimed effort to starve out the whole Yoruba nation by blocking the Lokoja Bridge for days against trucks that were transporting food products to Yoruba Southwest from the Nigeria Middle Belt, and again, without the government of Nigeria raising finger against the crime. But these are not all the Yoruba people have suffered in Nigeria, ever intensifying cauldron of interpeople's hatred. Under a system of limited self-government and federalism in the decade preceding Nigeria independence in 1960, we Yoruba people achieved such a great developmental modernization that made our region the pace setter. The first free educational program in Africa, built the longest mileage of modern highways, the most urban water supply project, the first industrial estate with an ambitious industrialization program, the only investment capital structure with holdings in industries, banking, real estate, and commerce, many large plantation producing crops for industries, various skills development centers for our youth. But Nigerian culture of interpeople's hatred has almost totally destroyed all of these. Though Yoruba people were confidently living in a growing prosperity by the 1960s, most Yoruba people now belong in Nigeria horribly culture of poverty, which is growing worse and worse. The Yoruba educated youth confronted by Nigeria's hopelessness are fleeing abroad at a terrifying rate, thereby creating a serious threat that their Yoruba nation could perish in Nigeria. Against this background, we Yoruba people remain fiercely convinced of the reality of the non-sustainability of the Nigerian state as a vehicle for galvanizing and translating the inherent creative energies of our people, the Yoruba people, into developmental trust again. We are determined that the bottle up Yoruba creativity must be released so as to generate the impetus to reenact the historical dynamism for which our Yoruba nation was famed in the past. The more the Yoruba nation remains stuck into and trapped in the vortex of the Nigerian trash machine, the more stagnated, and backward we Yoruba will become. Accordingly, we Yoruba people state categorically that the political realities of a one Yoruba man presidency over Nigeria cannot possibly alter the continued bondage and retrogression of the Yoruba people in the cauldron of the heavily devalued Nigerian state. The Yoruba nation will never submit itself to the unending citizenship in Nigeria that is irretrievably held in a deep dungeon of more and more poverty and hopelessness. Therefore, we Yoruba nation reaffirmed our decision to negotiate with Nigeria the creation of our own and separate autonomous political and economic space outside the framework of the now illegitimate Nigerian state. We Yoruba are repeatedly stated these in our letters and petitions to the United Nations Organization, as well as to the various governments of the world, including the Nigerian government. In particular, we have stated as follows, open bracket, above all, we Yoruba concluded irrevocably that the agenda of the war of conquest and subjugation by one nation that is part of Nigeria against the other nations of Nigeria, and the said nations' invitations to the foreign terrorist organization to come and help to wage war against the other nations of Nigerians, all with the obvious complicity of the federal government of Nigeria, have idiotically violated, conclusively eliminated the unity, the legitimacy of Nigeria as one country. We Yoruba have therefore concluded that we have the legitimate right and duty to separate our Yoruba nation from Nigeria, close bracket. We Yoruba are prepared to attain these goals through negotiation with the Nigerian government, either on a bilateral basis, open bracket, that is between our Yoruba nation and the government of Nigeria, close bracket, or on a multilateral basis that brings all or most of the constituent stakeholders in the failed Nigerian project around one negotiating table. We have stated these in various ways to the federal government of Nigeria, and these communications of ours to the Nigerian federal government remain our firm, unalterable demand to the Nigerian state. In conclusion to these, we Yoruba applaud the noble assurances which our brother, the new president of Nigeria, uttered in his inaugural address. We refer to the following statement in his address, open bracket. Our administration shall govern on your behalf, but never rule over you. We shall consult and dialogue, but never dictate. We shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding views contrary to our own, close bracket. We, his kinsmen, say, thank you, Mr. President, for these typically Yoruba assurances. Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader and the chairman, the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, YSDM. So that is the letter that Professor Banji Akintoye wrote to the new president, Bola Tinubu. Now, let's start discussing this letter. Let me open the phone line and let's hear the views. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire. Kí lẹ rí sí lẹ́tà tí bàbá Akintoye kọ sí bàbá wa Alànà. Mo kí bàbá wa Gani Alágbàlá And I say shout out to everyone celebrating their birthday. Mokiyawa Wumi Daniel. This particular section of this program is sponsored by Ilano Omodua. And also, the Yoruba language will also be permitted to be spoken for those of you that would like to call in. Let me open the phone line. Bola Tinubu letter. Remember, we sent one to Buhari. The number is +44 74 04 40 5917. WhatsApp only. Olumide, thank you so much. Ganil Mujib, thank you so much. Comrade Plan B say the spoiled soul. That is Onitiri. Omola Balaji Abdullah, good evening all the way. Mrs. Comfort Ologunja say the more groups should decamp now. Some of you are welcome back to this platform. Please remember to be of good behavior. Thank you so much, Okekaude. Our destiny is in our hands. As an Odua people, Tinubu must let my people go. Olakunle say, imagine Dupe Oniro don't want to dialogue with the Nigeria government. She wants to follow the shortcut. Omwali. Good evening and welcome. And this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Shegun Yovo, keep on laughing. Alex Mamu, thank you so much. I say shout out to my grandmother, a mother, Mrs. Toyin Akinluyi, and Adi 524, and Flora Baby Mine, thank you so much. Femi Bright, and Bonju, Idris Abimbola, thank you so much. Olakunle went on to say the letter is a very good step because the current government in Nigeria must be engaged, and that will allow us to follow the right protocol to self-determination. Let me highlight something. I'm going to be analyzing the letter, but you're also free to call in, and you can speak the Yoruba. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yin lẹ fẹ́ fi bá mi sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ má bẹ̀rù tẹ́ bá ti pè wọlé torí pé ẹ̀yin lẹ lè tó ti sìn. This particular part of this program now is a sponsored program by Ilana Omodua, who is the leader, Professor Adebanji Akintoye. Number tẹ́lẹ̀ pè sí náà ni +44 74 04 40 5917. Ẹ rántí kẹ́ fi kóòdù yẹn sí tẹ́ bá ń pè láti ta. Now, Tinubu mentioned something that I want to highlight again. During his own inaugural address, Tinubu went on to say, I quote, our administration, ìjọba títèmi, shall govern as ṣe ìjọba léyìn lórí on your behalf lórí ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, lórí ẹ̀yin ọmọ ẹ̀yà tó kù àti Nigeria, but never rule over you. Ní fi tipátipá mú yín mọ́lẹ̀ pé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, ẹ láǹfààní àti lọ. That is a very good one. Ẹ gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Our administration, ìjọba títọ̀dọ̀ tiwa yìí, +44 74 04 40 5917, in case you would like to call into the program, please do so, and I will bring you in as swiftly as quickly. Ẹ lè sọ tọ̀dọ̀ tiyín náà. Mo kí Sọ́nkì, mo kí Ọ̀túnba, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun ọ̀nà, àtàwọn tó wà nílé, àtàwọn tó máa wo program yìí later. Shout out to those of you that are Biafra. I'm going to come to the Biafra at about 8 o'clock, which is about 2000 hours. What is Nnamdi Kanu saying from the custody of the DSS? You're going to be listening to that later on. Buhari did not want to engage with us. We saw that very well. Buhari is a very bad government. Any government must be prepared to negotiate, even if what they want, you cannot give it to them. Scottish people are still negotiating with the Westminster so that they can have another referendum. The last one they had was in 2014. I told you about almost 1.6 million said yes, but 1.9 million said no, and that literally means that Scotland still remain under the United Kingdom. But they are now negotiating. They are asking for the same referendum again. Whether England will allow another referendum, time will tell. It is not just about Scotland. The Wales are also asking. Shout out to Yonkan. Shout out to Chief Imam of Ile Yoruba. Shout out to Iba Gani Adams. Logun Ofel. Mo kí gbogbo yín Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà. Mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pé ẹ kú àmúlédúró fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. A kú ọdún Ifá fún in tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. They've been celebrating the Ifa festival It's part of us, it's our culture. We enjoy our culture, we love our culture. Zazu Odua say, but he will do as he has said. Idris Abimbola say, good evening to you as well. Zazu say, thank you, Professor Banji Akintoye, Babadada, you have said it all. Aziz in Miami, shout out to you, a brother and a true brother, and we appreciate your love for not just the Yoruba people, but for the Yoruba people around the world. Tinubu again said, and I quote, our administration, Ìjọba tí tọ̀dọ̀ tèmi, shall govern. Shout out to our brother, our father, Moses Fadipe, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, wants to leave the UK. There are so many countries under the UNPO. We are the number 45. So that means there's number 1 to 43 that are fighting somewhere around the world for the right to self-determination. Iyawa Wumi Dana sọ pé great letter from our father, Yoruba nation never going back. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Alimosho local government, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí Lagos state, Ogun state, Ọ̀yọ́ state, mo kí gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kan sí ní Kwara, mo kí ní Ọ̀ṣun, mo kí ní Èkìtì, mo kí ní ìlú Oǹdó. Kọ́lọ̀ fún bàbá wa Kérédolú lálàáfíà. Mo kí ní Kogi state, mo dẹ̀ kí ní Kwara. Wọ́n lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí ní Edo, mo kí ní Delta, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń bẹ ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tí ó wà lókè ọya títí dé Middle Belt, mo kí ní Port Harcourt, mo kí gbogbo yín pátápátá láì yọ ẹnìkankan sílẹ̀. Tinubu sọ pé our administration, nǹkan pè ní administration ni pé kó lè ṣèjọba lé yín lórí. Ó ní àwọn ò ní wá rule over you. So dáàmì pé tá a bá máa fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ àsíápá fẹ́ jáde a fẹ́ béèrè ẹ̀tọ́ wa, Tinubu ò ní láti ní kó gbé omi gbóná síta kó máa yìn wá níbọn torí pé Buhari make sure pé ó gbẹ̀mí ọmọ Yorùbá tó pọ̀ under 29,000 Yoruba people. Kò ní sáwọn tó kú ní rally nìkan. The whole Yoruba people that died during ìgbà tí Buhari wà ní government calculated 29,000. We're not talking about other Nigerians. Àwa Yorùbá ta kú tọ́pa nínú Nàìjíríà. Pẹ̀lú ìtọ́pa lọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa Chief Sunday, Dr. Olóyè Ìgbòho, ìtọ́pa ní rally, ìtọ́pa ní àwọn tí kò rí jẹ, ìtọ́pa nínú igbó. 29,000 Yoruba people were killed during the tenure of this wicked Fulani man called Buhari from Niger. Mo wá ń sọ nísìnyí pé Tinubu tún sọ nǹkan kan nínú bíbẹ̀ yẹn. Only we shall consult in everything in life. There must be consultation. Kò sí bá ṣe lè sọ pé a fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation tí a ní consult kò possible. There's no way you want to have something and you are not going to do consultation. If my local government in UK wants to do any little changes on my street, it has to start with consultation. Abubakar Yaya says, White Lion, King of the Boys. I love that one again. King of the Boys. Wow. Shout out to you, Abubakar Yaya. Omitola Kende, I say, good evening, ma'am. Lovely and good letter. Hope the present government will listen. The present government of Bola Tinubu said, and I quote, towards the last paragraph of this letter. Maybe I should read that again. Our administration, this is what Tinubu mentioned during his, and I'm going to go and get that audio, and I promise you I will have it ready for next week. He said, and I quote, our administration shall govern on your behalf, but never rule over you. We shall consult and dialogue, but never dictate. We shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding their views contrarily to our own. That is a very powerful one. Mr. Samson Adekunle, welcome. Thank you so much to those of you that are listening quietly, because some are saying that we don't have to dialogue with Tinubu, like we should just go on the street and start fighting. No, we will be on the street as the civilized Yoruba people that we have done in the 2 years of Buhari, but he ended up killing as many of us. Mukimba Baba Kunle Shita, Yawa Grace, Senior, JP, all the members of the GR1, I say good afternoon and good evening. I'm very sorry I couldn't participate in the prayer section that you had yesterday. From the leader of that particular, it's not a group, is a solution center from Alhaji Alabi all the way to Babawa Stephen, Dennis, and all our mothers that are present. And those of you that disagree with our views before, you are okay to come back like they've been told, but we are also saying there is only one leader and we will listen to that leader because he's taking us on the right path. There is no need for us to become hoodlums and IGBOHO. That is why we were going out with the instruction from Rally, you will not attack any security operatives on the road because they are suffering the same catastrophe of poverty, negligence. Income is not coming to them in terms of revenue. They are also facing the same petrol subsidy that has been removed. So when we go out again, we will do as exactly we have been doing in the 2 years. And this time around, we hope that Tinubu will not instruct, as Buhari did, as many people to be killed and as many people to be injured. Even though the death was not as much, but àwọn tó ṣèṣe wọ́n ṣe ẹlòmíì ṣì ń gbà tọ́jú kọ́lọ́n kó fún wọn ní àlàáfíà. Kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni kankan tá a gbàgbé. We pray that we have our own country as quickly as possible, but ẹ máa farabalẹ̀ ni. Having a country involves consultation, dialogue. These are why we are saying that Buhari is a bad leader without a common sense by Oke Kayode, which I also stamped on. Buhari is a bad boy. Olakunle also said, King of the Boys. Thank you so much. And this is still Star Radio UK Network every Wednesday where we discuss issues affecting Nigerians because we have humanity in our own heart. But if you're not too sure where you are, maybe you want to find out from here.
Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK. This is Star Radio UK.
This is Star Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And this is how we do it every Wednesday. And I'd like to appreciate Adekunle Rasul. Shout out to the Yoruba World Media. Happy birthday to every one of you in the month of June. And once again, thank you so much to those of you that continue to support, the platform as well. We will continue to bring as many of the programs into the platform here as well. But remember, this is... We welcome you once again, and you can also listen to us
on your smartphone, in your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone, in your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone.
So this is still Star Radio UK. I'm going to be looking into some of the news headline, but I should discuss later about Akintoye up to 8 o'clock. Then we move to the final part of the program. We shall consult. I love that part. I love consultation. I love dialogue. There's nothing better than dialogue than having weapons and killing each other. Abi Eniolate, thank you so much. Mr. Peter Oluwafuminiyi Olaseyinde, àwọn orúkọ ńlá gbàngbà. George, ṣe Ekweto Baba mi White Lion. I have now become Baba. Hey, is it because of this my beers? Everybody's calling me Baba, 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 Baba. At least I am not say Baba. Say Buhari, say Baba. Say Buhari. I think we have the first caller coming through. And let's go and take that call. And like I can speak in our language, which you are more than welcome to do, so that you don't feel comfortable like, Koiki, English, Sonny, whatever you want to say. Good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK Network. Good evening and good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program. Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Papa has really done well with the step of that letter.
How?
And I hope this new regime of Bola Ahmed will entertain us because I really appreciate Baba's steps on this because it will really help us if you can dialogue and see what the outcome it will bring. So that this dialogue, the main importance of this dialogue is it will help us in preventing our people against the which is the oral government of Buhari.
Okay.
So I think, and I hope, I believe, I pray as well that this new regime will listen to us.
So when you hear Tinubu saying during inauguration, we shall consult and dialogue but never dictate, what do you translate in that word? This is Tinubu saying that during inauguration, we shall consult and dialogue.
To me on that, Tinubu has always been a man of his word.
Okay.
Because yes, he has always been a man of his word. So I think he knew what is going on in the country.
Okay.
Before becoming the president.
Okay.
So he knew what we want.
Okay.
So I believe he can do more than our imagination or expectation towards the nation.
Order. Thank you so much. Eshegoni for the first caller.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. That is the first caller. You know, ẹ má bẹ̀rù pẹ̀lú òyìnbó kàǹkàǹkà tá à ń sọ níbí báyìí. Nọ́mbà tẹ́ máa pè sí náà ni +44 4 7 4 0 4 4 0 5 9 1 7 or ẹ̀yàn mọ́ Yorùbá ní +44 7 4 0 4 4 0 5 9 1 7. Ẹ jẹ́ gbọ́ tẹ̀yìn náà ẹ má kọ̀ jókòó síbẹ̀. Kí lẹ rò pé lẹ́tà tí bàbá kọ sí Tinubu yìí, kí lẹ rò pé ó fẹ́ mú wá, kí lẹ rò pé ó fẹ́ yọ jáde nínú ẹ̀. Òun gangan ní kí gbogbo kájọ gbé yẹ̀wò, kájọ discuss ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. Àwọn bàbá ni wọ́n sponsor program yìí, àwọn ìlànà, àwọn náà ní ká gbé wá fún èèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá kẹ́ sọ sí nítorí pé àwọn náà máa gbọ́ láàrin méjì, wàá lè gbọ́ nǹkan tí a sọ nínú lẹ́tà tí a ti ń gbé yẹ̀wò. This letter, we have been dissecting it. I have not satisfied yet. I am taking it from different angle. I've looked at it from the international perspective. We have discussed it whether Buhari did not reply to our letter. Is Tinubu going to dialogue with us? Is Tinubu going to allow our views? Because what we are doing has not have anything to destroy his government. We are not a destroyer. We are not a thugs. We are the self-determination campaigner. And this also gives our media at home the privilege to operate without being, attacked. Because the fear was there. Ìbẹ̀rù yẹn wà gan ní gbogbo last year, especially, with the criminal president that was there previously, that was using the Fulani Caliphate to attack us by invading the Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho's residence, kill 2 people, remove people from there, and eventually the bodies. Tinubu gbọ́dọ̀ bá wa investigate níbo ló gbé àwọn òkú yẹn sí, òkú bàbá wa Fatai àti Adogan. Tinubu went on to say, we shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding their views contrary to our own. Ó ní òun máa make sure pé gbogbo Nigerians pátápátá lòun máa reach out sí, but òun ò ní wọ́n mú Koiki tó ń pariwo Yorùbá nation, òun ò ní mú bàbá Akintoye, òun ò ní mú Simon Ekpa, òun ò ní mú El-Zakizaki, òun ò ní mú ẹni tó fẹ́ Nàìjíríà, òun ò ní mú Sowore, òun ò ní mú wọn mọ́lẹ̀ as a single person, because I am a single person, but in conjunction with so many other people that believe in the right to self-determination. Being calling Baba is not by your age, but by knowledge. Thank you so much. Eshegoni, Eyawa, Omitola. Mo fẹ́ ká pè wọlé àbí ká fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì síbẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ kà lẹ́tà tí bàbá kọ sí Buhari sí President Tinubu. Tinubu náà sọ, ó ní òun ò ní hold the views wa, because our views is that we want our right to self-determination. It is the same views that the Scottish are having with the British Parliament in England. Buhari say idiot means Buhari is an idiot. He never wanted to negotiate. He wanted to do things in a Fulani way. He was not ready to look at things from the perspective of being dialogue and consultation. But today, as we continue to highlight, Sonki, good evening and welcome to the program. As we continue to highlight and discuss these issues that is affecting us, especially with President Bola Tinubu, we hope Tinubu will do as he has said at his inauguration. At the moment, he might not have replied that letter But we hope we can get at least a confirmation that àtìgbà lẹ́tà yín sọ́wọ́. Ẹ fún wa nígbà díẹ̀ sí àkànsí. Mo kí àwa Grace Olúṣọ̀tọ̀, mo kí àwa Grace Senior JP. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olúwo, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin babaláwo, mo kí gbogbo ibi tó ń pè ní tradition ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. A kí gbogbo àwọn ìjọ pátápátá. This segment is 20 minutes before it ends, sponsored by Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà. Yoruba Nation, as we continue to review the topic today on the Naija Voices on the Star Radio UK network, we want you to go and also follow Star Radio UK on the Twitter and all our social media handles. And then you can find me here. But tomorrow we will not be on air for reasons. We'll be back on Friday. So in case tomorrow you don't see us, transmitting tomorrow during the morning program where I normally join Achi at 11 o'clock. Akibabawa Imam ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, Akibabawa Gẹ́gẹ́ Olú, Jẹ́jẹ́, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin coordinators tẹ́ wà ní different platforms. Mo kí àwa Jagun, mo kí Kọ́míṣọ́lá kò gbọdọ̀ kú, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin obìnrin akọni ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tẹ́ ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun. Even those of you that still believe in Nigeria, we appreciate you. Whether you are a supporter of APC or PDP, Akiyawa Omowumi, Moki Iwa Peluewa, Akiyawa Yeyoge, Kentos, Moki Wenti Manchester, Moki Entewani Leeds, Moki Entewani Peckham, Moki Entewani Romford, Moki Walata. Nigeria is becoming a place not for us. Let's go back again and review more into this letter as I go back into the conversation. This letter was sent just a day after Tinubu debe. So it's like, I prepare letter and say, Tinubu debe by that's no reason for us to give him any breathing space. It is the right thing to do. Mokitemi 441. Moshood Quadri Mokiyi. Ismaila Salisu Mokiyi. Babawa Adeyemi Jorin for real Mokiyi. Yawa Mercy Adeshoye Mokibuboyi. And welcome to the Star Radio UK network. Yoruba people are saying that one thing alone and one thing alone, we want our right to self-determination. Nigeria is no longer working, it's setting us backwards. Ìlú tó ń gbé wa padà sẹ́yìn kò já tẹ̀síwájú. And before we go away from this particular section, because I have only half an hour after we get into the last part, and this is still a sponsored program, I want us to listen to Professor ADEBANJI Akintoye a little bit from the interview that he granted at the Kutonu some few days ago over the weekend. Prince Adekunle Mokin, Princess Bamidele Mohammed, thank you so much. Akin Games, you are welcome into the program, and the rest of those of you that have joined us on the Mixed LR. Nuruddin Ajani Busari say good evening. Ekweto, Moki Bogole Yoruba, Parapata. Moki àwọn olóṣèlú wa, but we are saying to you that it is time that you listen. Fáwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ right to self-determination. Tinubu is only going to be there for 8 years. He will try his best, but Nigeria is already damaged. Moki Ekabo, Yawa Rukayat, Omowumi, and welcome to the program. Said Ganiu, Moki. Did he give us a breathing space before he removed the subsidy? Buhari know your subsidy now. Mokiyawa Bisola Oladele. Mumaki wo gba ti Korodu, mo kẹ́yìn ti Àjà, Mokiyawa ìyá Ìgbòho, Moki gbogbo àwọn ìyàwó wa ti Ìgbòho Òòṣà, Ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá. We have another caller. Let's take that call. We're still taking your calls. Let's now go straight and listen to an uncle here in, I will not mention. Hello, you're welcome to the program. This is Star Radio UK. Good evening, sir. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò náà, ẹ kálẹ́ la máa sọ fún àwọn tó ń wọlé, àmọ́ òun yẹn sì tàn rẹpẹtẹ. Ìgbà míì gan màá máa béèrè pé ṣé ilẹ̀ ti ṣú ní London ṣá tó ń tàn rẹkẹrẹkẹ báyìí. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò ti Naija Voices ti Star Radio UK. Kí lẹ máa bá wa sọ lórí intan sọlọlẹ lórí?
Ya orí lẹ́tà yìí mo kàn fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ gbólóhùn kan méjì sí.
À ń gbọ́ yín sábà bàbá wa.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn bàbá wa pòfẹ́sọ̀ fún lẹ́tà tí wọ́n kọ. Nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ sọ níbẹ̀ ni pé níbi ọgbọ́n orí tèmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ kékeré, èdè Yorùbá ni wọ́n bá fi kọ lẹ́tà yìí.
Okay.
Torí ọmọ Yorùbá ni Tinubu.
Okay.
Gbogbo kan tí ọkẹ́ máa kọ sí lẹ́tà kẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ló yẹ kí àwọn tó wà nínú ọ́fíìsì pírẹ́sidẹ́ǹtì ní Àbújá, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ló yẹ kí wọ́n kà.
Ṣé ìyẹn máa possible ṣá tàbá ní ká gbé yẹ̀wò ìyẹn lè kọ lẹ́tà sí Joe Biden tó máa rí pé kò ní kọ́kọ́ dáhùn tó máa kà á kó tó dọ́dọ̀ Joe Biden when we talk about ká from that level of security level because.
Ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ kan tèmi náà ṣe ní ilé.
Ó yé mi mo mọ̀ ẹ má fi gbẹnu sọ̀rọ̀.
A máa ń gba lẹ́tà láti ìlú òkè.
Okay.
Wọ́n máa kọ́ ní èdè wọn sí wá bí.
Okay.
Wọ́n jẹ́ máa tún ṣe interpretation sí. So.
Ẹ mọ̀ pé nísìnyí àwọn ẹ má bínú bàbá wa ilé tèmi ń kà tèdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ni èyí tó fi ránṣẹ́ àmọ́ bóyá wọ́n kọ lédè míì àmọ́ màá béèrè àwa fi tó yín létí màá béèrè lọ bàbá wa wàá dẹ̀ fi tó wa létí nínú àwọn program wa tá a bá ń ṣe lọ.
À ń gbé yẹ̀wò náà ní bóyá tí èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì bá wà níbẹ̀ kí interpretation náà fi lè fi parí náà kí n gbé bá.
Ok. Ó mẹ́rin lọ́dọ̀ yín bàbá wa ok látọ̀dọ̀ wọn ẹ̀yẹ́ ká fún wọn ní time sí. Bàbá wa ní ìjẹ́wọ́ kọ lẹ́tà à ń gbọ́ yín sà. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ à ń gbádùn yín.
Wọ́n máa ń kòwé kan ní ọyìn ìlú wọ́n ní tọ́wọ́ èèyàn bá ti tẹ ikú dà kò ń bèrè ikú tó pa bàbá ẹ̀.
Kábíyèsí ẹ̀.
Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá láti sọ wípé ọwọ́ wa ti tẹ nǹkan dà sí a gbọ́dọ̀ bèrè ikú tó pa bàbá wa.
Ẹ bá wa ṣí bẹ̀rẹ̀ dáadáa ibẹ̀ yẹn Yorùbá yẹn ò yé mi dáadáa ẹni tọ́wọ́ wa yẹn ò báyìí ti tẹ̀kú dà ṣé ọwọ́ wa ti wá tẹ̀kú dà báyìí lẹ́ńsọ yìí.
Wọ́n ó ti tẹ́ tún tẹ Tinubu àti tí ò bá ní sọmọ kan lókù.
Okay.
Ọwọ́ wa ti tẹ̀kú dà sọ a gbọ́dọ̀ sòdì sí kó gbọ́ èdè.
Ó gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ èdè.
Lẹ́tà yẹn bá dáa kí wọ́n kọ́ ní èdè Yorùbá.
Ó yé mi.
Wọ́n ti ẹ̀fà mi lórí pàápàá. Ilé ló ti wá.
Kẹ́tọ́ lọ bàbá wa kí lẹ rí sí ibi tí Tinubu náà ti sọ pé we shall reach out to all but never put down a single person in their view contrary to our own.
Yes, mo rí yẹn èmi kàn rí pé ó kàn fi ẹsẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ìtùnú ni. Olùgbọ́rọ̀ subsidy jáde tí ó consult. Àmọ́ sọ nǹkan tí mo ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ pé lẹ́tà yẹn bá dáa kí wọ́n kọ́ ní èdè Yorùbá. Sí wípé nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ náà ó sọ ń bẹ̀ pé Nàìjíríà wà indivisible.
Ok bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bẹ́ẹ̀ a máa play video ẹ̀ jáde nísìn ẹ̀ right yes ó sọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
So ó yẹ kó bá sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́tà yẹn gan pàápàá àwọn ọba Yorùbá àwọn àgbààgbà Yorùbá èmi tí wọ́n sì inú determination ọ̀tọ̀ ti farahàn ó yẹ kó fọwọ́ sí kó sọ ní èdè Yorùbá sí kó sọ ní èdè Yorùbá wọ́n máa gbé lọ sínú àfikún kó bá sọ̀rọ̀.
Ó dà ẹ ṣé gan bàbá wa ẹ ṣé gan tí ẹ bá wa gbé yẹ̀wò torí pé ẹni bá wa dá sí náà la máa dúpẹ́ fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bá wa comment náà a máa ń dúpẹ́ fún yín bàbá wa tó pè tán ní kò bá mọ kí Edward Debbie ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò and good evening if you are not is Yoruba speaking we are treating the letter that the leader of the Yoruba self-determination movement sent to Bola Tinubu. Like I said at 8 o'clock I'll be treating the Biafra and what communication is coming from, the leader of the the leader of the Biafra movement. We have another caller. It seems that more people are waking up. The number is +44 74 044 05917. My brother in truth, and welcome to the program. Ocean Habai. Hello. Okay, there's a lot of noise from your end. I don't know what you're using. There's a lot of screeching. All right, you might want to maybe call again. We cannot hear you at all because Onshe skitching, and that is going to be disturbing so many people. Let's see if we can get you again. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock. Bola Tinubu says something that could likely put a break in Nigeria. We're going to come back to that. Okay, we're still not a little bit. Maybe no, it's not still okay yet. No, not at all. We cannot communicate like this. Maybe you want to try again. because there's we can't hear you because there's a lot of screeching. No, nothing at all. We can't. Sorry about that. Maybe you want to call direct or because we can't hear you at all. Try again. Hello caller,
Yes. Thank you. Greetings to everyone on board.
They can hear you, ma.
My contribution is Baba has done well for this letter because Tinubu already knows what is on the ground.
Okay.
According to his own statement, that the boat is really rocking. Not only the Yorubas, the Igbos, the South, that there was already a problem on the ground. So he has acknowledged it. He did not overlook it as if the problem is not there.
Okay.
Like Buhari did. Even Buhari believed in the animals. That's why he behaved like one.
Okay.
He can control his cow more than the Nigerians. So he doesn't value urban life. That's Buhari. So now we believe that Tinubu will be reasonable.
Okay.
Or else the country is already teared. It's already falling apart.
Okay.
So his best bet is to call people on the round table to dialogue with them.
Okay.
Because he knows there's a problem for him that has been pending for him to solve a lot of problems.
Okay.
And what I believe that Baba should do, follow up. He has written a letter. You should follow it up after, few weeks.
Okay.
That we are still expecting a reply.
Okay.
We've written a letter. We want, this is our aim. There's a Yoruba nation, self-determination pending. So, Baba has done well and he needs to follow it up.
Follow up.
With our brother that said Baba should have written it in Yoruba, language, no. I'm not in support of that. English is still a national language in Nigeria. And Tinubu won't be the person to open that letter. We have PA, secretary, to deal with the letter.
For security reasons,
so
we won't even
it
open it.
shouldn't be too personal, like we are writing to our immediate family. No.
Okay.
It's a national thing. We shouldn't take Tinubu for granted. No, we shouldn't do that. That will be bias. We shouldn't be biased. So what Baba has done is, I believe, is wonderful. Okay. So we should follow it up. So that's my own contribution.
Thank you so much. And that was
calling the local unity groups. They should decamp. They should come back. Okay. They are welcome.
Okay.
And they should be of their best behavior. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's good to balance it when we have a caller that is a mother for contributing as well. And she's a we have a caller coming again. Let's go straight to the US. And hello, caller, you're live. Good afternoon and welcome to the program. Hello. Ètò náà nìyẹn.
Actually, that caller, you already say everything.
Okay.
The most part in the as a calling Yoruba to value our whole language. Àwọn Yorùbá la fẹ́ kọ̀wé sí, bàbá wa la dẹ̀ fẹ́ kọ̀wé sí.
Okay.
So, it shouldn't, need to respect wọn ju bẹ́yẹn lọ́nà because it's our right. We are not terrorizing, we are asking and demand for the freedom of our people. Okay. Which means, Baba also will be the part of people who will enjoy the benefit. When Baba spent 8 years in a government office, because Nigeria cannot be fixed, everybody already know that 100% Nigeria cannot be fixed. No matter how Tinubu try to fix Nigeria, there is some terrorists, some ignorant. They call themselves a cabal. They will now let Nigeria fix. That is the benefit of slave master in order to enslave us. But we will not back down for them. So I know that
program. One wò yín dáadáa. Daily, one wò yín every day.
Okay.
So this is why we are going to send the message to Baba Tinubu.
Okay.
This is what we Yoruba want, not what the politician of Yoruba want.
Okay.
The majority, 80%, 90% of Yoruba want the freedom.
Okay.
So only the people that want Nigeria is the people that benefit from Nigeria.
Okay.
Nothing else. Nigeria physically, mentally, and emotionally, Nigeria is divided already.
Okay.
There is no way you can fix Nigeria.
Okay.
So in order to make Nigeria balanced, we always have to go on a separate way. Which means Baba Tinubu has to cooperate with Yorubas. Because all Yoruba ni Baba jẹ́, and Tabari ethnic issue, only Buhari fit the government ti tiẹ̀, already that is the government ti tiẹ̀ ni.
Ethnic issue.
Náà tó bá ní priority àti capacity àti help àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, we don't need a political help. The only help that we need is freedom.
Okay.
We want to be free.
Okay.
Because those people that represent us are political place,
yeah,
they did not do right. Wọ́n ṣe negatively ní àpárá wọn náà jà fún wọn ìjàmbá wọn mẹ̀kúnnù. So we don't want them anymore. The only thing majority of us want is freedom. So bàbá gbogbo àwọn tó ń jà fún freedom wa ẹ má bá wọn jà ẹ fún wa ní òmìnira wa. The only thing you can do is call Olóyè Sunday Igboho or call Baba Akintoye to negotiate. And what we want is freedom. You know what, Bracket? Really appreciate you.
Thank you so much once again. The number is still the same. Plus 44 74 044 05917. Kili Eitoku Risi in town to Tikpe. The letter. Thank you so much, Maze Gold. For welcoming us. Babawa Bolua Oluwaferanmi. And let's go straight to the next caller as well. Hello, caller, you're live. Go ahead.
Hello.
You're live. We can hear you now. It's much better line now. Go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello.
All right. It seems you are somewhere that we can't. It seems you are. I hope you are not on the London Underground because we can hardly hear what you're saying. Maybe when you get to a better location, you can call back as well. Let Elashin deal pẹ̀lú, but like I said, in the next 3 minutes, I'm still gonna have the line open, but we're gonna switch to the Biafrans. As the Yorubas are also asking for one thing. What do you think is going to happen between Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Biafra, and likewise, let's go to Italy where we have another caller. Hello, caller, Etiwa Lori program.
Hello,
this is Niger Voices. I'm going, sir.
Contribution tèmi ni pé bó ṣe wà yìí a ní opportunities.
Okay.
President Tinubu tó bá ṣe kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ tó bá ní pé ó fẹ́ ràn ọmọ Yorùbá lọ́wọ́. Great opportunity là ní nísìnyí pé ó table everything. Nnamdi ti sọ pé no going back, non-negotiable. So àwa Yorùbá náà non-negotiable. Nǹkan tá a fẹ́ òun là ń fẹ́. Wọ́n tó dẹ̀ pé problem ti wà nílẹ̀ ó dé wá bá problem ni. So best better náà ni kó fẹ́ everybody ti round table. Tó bá yẹ kó fẹ́ sí dáadáa o, tó bá fẹ́ kí ìjọba túká lórí ẹ̀.
Okay.
Based on my own knowledge though. That's the best way.
Okay.
But it won't depend on the bottom of it. Aspect then mi ò bá la sì lè reach àwọn ọmọ Biafra náà ká sọ fún ọ pé káwọn náà kọ lẹ́tà sí.
Well, we don't know. I'm sure they'll be doing something. I'm going to be treating some of their conversation after about 8 o'clock. So
káwọn náà make step yẹn káwọn náà ti something like that so that ká mọ̀ pé gbogbo àtàfẹ́ lọ àti right of president so that káwọn náà kí president mọ̀ pé ó ṣe àwọn nìkan aláìtẹ if middle belt náà táwọn bá serious bàbá lè communicate pẹ̀lú wọn náà káwọn náà kan right.
Okay.
So that because we can't continue like this. We don't have the same vision, we don't have the same mission. Now, Western education, see, I want to just take our backward. Now, you have to continue like to follow up.
Thank you so much. Moki, Moki Bogwale and Consistent, Ago, Mejo, Unoshenlu, Koike, I am not Yoruba, but the country does not exist. Thank you so much, Blessing Daba. Well, the country does not exist. Everyone should move on and leave. See El-Rufai evil statement. I'm going to talk about El-Rufai, but I want to focus now on the Biafra, the government of Bola Tinubu. Let me take us back to just before Buhari, the former president, left. This article, are those articles that have been out in the last few weeks. Don't inherit Buhari's hostility. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer urged Tinubu. Again, Mrs. Comfort went on to say, we should not be biased. Bear in mind that Tinubu is a Nigerian president, not a Yoruba nation president. Once again, thank you so much to those of you that are watching, those of you that are listening to us from around the globe, as we continue to also monitor, all your comments and your conversation as well. My name is Olamileka, Sharp Boye, Adeniran 203, Dombi _innovation, Mr. Tokbe Owolabi. We still have callers, but we are going to be discussing everything about Nnamdi Kanu. And, yes, keep calling. Tabashi Pikwe. The line is still open while I continue with my conversation. We are now talking about the Biafra and the federal government of Nigeria. Mas B, good evening and welcome to you. Ǹjẹ́ Tinubu máa wo kéèsì Nnamdi Kanu a little bit different from bí Buhari ṣe wò? Don't inherit Buhari's hostility. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer urges the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the leader of the Indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu's special counsel, and he has been speaking in the last 72 hours, or 48 hours rather. And I'm going to take you through the stages up to today and yesterday. This was last week. Aloy Ejimako has appealed to President Bola Tinubu not to inherit former President Muhammadu Buhari, the evil man that hated the Igbos so much that he went ahead and kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, renditioning him back to Nigeria, and he thought that was a cool thing to do in 21st century. If you are going to arrest Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, you allow the court process to go through. Buhari wanted to do the same thing during the kidnap of Dr. Oloye Sunday IGBOHO. Let's see if the line is a bit much clearer. Hello, caller.
Hello, Mr. Koiki.
Well, wherever you are before, you were giving us a little bit hiccup, but it seems to be much better now. Go ahead and then.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, well, very brilliant letter. Our Baba has already written to the president of Nigeria. Okay, and again, the statement that Alagbato sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé wọ́n bá kọ́lé di Yorùbá, tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n kọ́lé di Yorùbá àbí pé wọ́n kọ àwọn ọba yẹn lọ sáyẹn, ó máa dàbẹ́ pé à ń bẹ̀bẹ̀. So because Yoruba nation is not begging, ṣe é fún wa ní òmìnira wa.
Okay.
So it's the right way ni bàbá ti ṣe yẹn. Okay, official language in Nigeria is English.
Okay.
Okay, and Baba is writing from Nigeria or from Cotonou, whatever. So it's okay in English language. And again, the statement whether President Tinubu will never agree for Nigeria to divide.
Okay.
That one is number one on his mind. What you want to do is what all the Afenifere and some other Yoruba leaders are wanting regional government. This is that's where they will want to push it to.
So do you think that if he push it to that side, is it in the favor of the whole region, the southern region, the northern region, the eastern region, the middle belt region, and then maybe that push more? Or do you think that that is not even the best option at this time?
At this time we are now, that is not the option. There's no regional government anymore.
Okay.
Let them go. Let everybody separate.
Okay.
If Biafra want to go, Yoruba want to go, because we've reached a point, that there's no the rebirth of Nigeria no more. Nigeria is dead. So,
Okay.
but it's one conscience in Igbo, let us say, okay, whether we can give them regional government. I was listening to what's up, our Baba was Uncle, our Yoruba Baba was
The Nadeko has already written to Tinubu. Nadeko has written to Tinubu, and they're asking him to go back to the regional government. I don't know how far that is going to happen, but the Nadeko has already written to Tinubu. I've saw that already.
Because that is the aim. Because I saw one clip of Tinubu when he came in there. I saw it well on koikimedia or one other media. Because Tinubu, I was only quoting, says that, there's no, Nigeria will not divide.
Let's listen to this. Wait, give us a minute there. Let's all listen to this, and then we come back to the caller, because exactly what the caller is saying, you don't have to worry about it. We have it here on the Starr Radio UK network. Let's listen to this.
Nigeria's critics have trafficked that route. The rumor that our nation will break up, even perish. They have even redesigned the maps. Yet we are here. We have stumbled at times, but resilience and diversity have kept us going, and we will keep going. Our body may make us bend at times, but it shall never break us. Instead, we stand forth as Africa's most populous nation and as the best, hope, and strongest champion of the black race. As a citizen, we declare as one, unify the people, devoted to war, unify the nation, national cause. That as long as this world exists, Nigeria shall exist.
I come back to you, caller. You've listened to Tinubu there. It's not a video cut together. This was part of his inaugural speech on the 29th. I come back again to you now.
Okay, good that you play that. From the statements he made, it's clear. Nigeria, he doesn't want Nigeria to separate. So,
can I come in there? Could we say that he's playing that for reason known to him, or is it actually meaning it? Even though we know anything the president says, he means it, but we don't know whether he's just playing that to the public gallery.
Yeah, Mr. Koiki, to me, I hate politicians, okay? Because politics is a dirty game. Okay? The game he played there is a dirty game. So this is why I said, look, when he said, he's open for any dialogue or what, don't forget he and the Kabir, they've already made mention what they want to do, that don't let Nigerians separate. Okay? Don't forget. This is just my opinion.
I understand.
That this is my opinion, because they are planning for the regional government. Okay? Because they don't want Nigeria to separate because of all what they are stealing.
Okay.
This is because of what they are gaining. And no matter what, because Benny. It's time to be to die, a time to sow, a time to reap, a time to stop, a time to keep quiet, a time of peace, a time of war. So, I like to know what you can compare here. Now it's a time. Everybody are talking. People, okay, they want to go. Even the middle belt people, they want to go. And one wants to go. Okay? Not only Yoruba, not only Biafra. So who is Tinubu that want to hold Nigeria together? Okay? Because there was a time, as I called, he is doing the bidding of the United Kingdom. This is just it.
Okay.
Because the agenda is don't let Nigeria separate. And if we say, because he's a Yoruba man just for the Nigeria, it's not for the Yoruba. Yoruba is an indigenous people. We want our own nation. We don't want Tinubu as our president. He is a president for Nigerian British government.
All right.
So, and again, I have one clue I just want to say.
All right, quickly, because of the time constraint.
Okay, yeah, just one clue, yeah. Because I want you to be RC. Because if I me send message woman, she's a danger. So we're going to fight on scene. She said that on 29 Adele is a coach. The Adele they are talking about that is coming on 29 is Tinubu. That is just it. The Adele they said you should be expecting is Tinubu. So Papa, we don't say one plan in saying, okay, you want to attack the barrack, one fellow shaking. Those are just one company create anything just to create
distraction.
Okay,
all right.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much. And that was a brilliant one, from the last caller as well. He referenced back to, Dupe Onitiri, that, Dupe was saying that Adele is coming. Adele actually means, Tinubu's government. He never referenced to that, but we believe that, there's evidence that she's not working, in the fine tune to help the Yoruba Nation movement. She actually came to destroy it as well. Prince Adekunle, thank you so much. Akinola said, regional government is a battle won, then the struggle continues. Samson Adekunle said, Nigeria must break off in Baba Tinubu government. Akinola also went on to say, if regional is given, let's take it first, but we keep the separation alive. Omobolaji Abdullah said, Jaga bandit and all his family will remain in Nigeria. Olakunle went on to say, I don't know if I am the only one not understanding Tinubu English again. Well, Tinubu English at least is far better than Buhari's one, because we hardly hear whenever Buhari is speaking. Good evening once again, as we are now 18 minutes, and I still want to finish up, the Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. There's a lot to discuss there. El-Rufai, I will try and push that. El-Rufai, our mother, Rafia, went on to say, I agree with the caller. Those politicians and the new nominees, they don't want Nigeria to be separated because of their benefit that they are getting from there. Everybody knows about the benefit of the politicians, the petrol subsidy. Omo Kosa 7, thank you so much. Adiolu _faith_exist25, thank you for joining us. And the rest of you, Tejumola, thank you so much. There's a comment there on the Instagram. Let me see if I can pick that. What I want to say is that Tinubu will surely do what will benefit Yoruba, even if he didn't approve in dividing Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mr. Moshood Quadri, and all your comments. Zazu, not the Zazu Portable, Zazu Odua say, I am happy for you Nigerians of this generation that you finally had a president that you can at least understand what he's saying, even if he's unhealthy. Even though we don't pray that Tinubu have any health issue, we pray that he has a good health to deal with all the problems ahead for him. He's still better than Buhari with Aisha. Adewale Abdulwasir say, if we don't break Nigeria in Tinubu administration now, it might cost us decades again to achieve our self. And this has been my concern. I mean, Tinubu has 8 years. By 2031, Tinubu will be coming out. He will be 87 years old. It will then become an elder statesman. He will not be able to fine-tune another Yoruba to become the president in 2031. He would have to support the ambition of whoever, the North are bringing out. But let's come back to the case of Nnamdi Kanu that was kidnapped and rendition by the evil monster, the former president, that decided that, the right thing to do, like he wanted to do with Umaru Diko in 21st century, was to kidnap and rendition. Buhari and all his cohorts must now be presented in the custody of the International Criminal Court for humanity's sake. But the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu Special Counsel, Aloy Ejimako, has appealed to President Bola Tinubu not to inherit the former president Muhammadu Buhari that called Nigerian cow, the flagrant violation of the rule of law. Look, it does not matter whether you like it or not, you hate the Biafra, you hate Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever Buhari has done is what is not allowed under the rule of engagement. There's what they call rules of engagement. You can't just kidnap somebody and then say because he wants to break up Nigeria, he's bringing radio transmission to Nigeria. You don't do that. It is not allowed. But Buhari, because he's an animal that doesn't understand, his left from his right, and because they had a Fulani agenda, they ate the Igbos. We saw that. The dot in the cycle. He put that out on his Twitter page. Twitter removed it. Buhari used his anger to destroy Twitter in Nigeria for good 6 months. And Lai Mohammed is now got another job because he's a liar. This is a government that killed 29,000 Yoruba people. I don't have the estimate of how many people are killed in the Biafra. I'm sure the numbers will be much more than the Yorubas. You don't have to like the Biafra. You don't need to like Nnamdi Kanu as a person. But what Buhari did is against humanity, is against the reality of the 21st century. You don't just go and kidnap somebody because it's somewhere in Kenya. And if you don't think that is the right thing, let that happen to your own family and you will then understand. And we hope, according to Ejimako, that made this statement just after Tinubu was sworn in. Everybody was waiting for Tinubu to be sworn in, and so many letters are right in the desk as the NLC were pushing, the El Zakizaki will now be pushing, the Biafra is pushing, the Ijo is pushing, the Arewa is pushing, even Tompolo is pushing, even Asari Dokupa is pushing. Shout out to my cousin Walata and the family. And to all my family back in Nigeria, I say shout out to you on Starr Radio UK Network. Tomorrow we are not going to be on air in the morning, but on Friday, God's willing, we'll be back again. Mutiu Adekunle, shout out to you. Frank Dudu say, end Nigeria now and save life. Akinola went on to say, a regional government is 50% battle won, then the struggle will continue. Somebody say, if you don't break up Nigeria now in the 8 years of Tinubu, or disintegrate, because some people don't like the word break, but countries that break up before, the Soviet Union break up, the Yugoslavia break off, East Timorian got their independence, Montenegro got their independence, South Sudan got their independence. So there's no need for us to say that when we want to live together, we are already marginalizing each other. I know Tinubu might try to balance his government ministerial post, but does that mean that that will give unity and peace to Nigerians? Let's go now further to some more other articles. Release Nnamdi Kanu to undergo ear surgery. Remember that even Tinubu Buhari was here in London for his tooth. Tinubu was also in Paris for his health. I saw the former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, saying that he wants to travel for his medical. Why then do you want to refuse Nnamdi Kanu for his own medical? According to Barrister Aloy Ejimako, the special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, today has appealed to President Ahmed Bola Tinubu to heed calls for urgent release of his client to enable him to attend his urgent medical needs. Even Tinubu went to attend to his medical needs. Why is it that this country doesn't want to respect humanity? All your governors, as I speak to you right now, Akeredolu is in Germany taking medical treatment. Hello, caller. Ekabo Sorieto. Ekole eba se ni kíákíá torí àsìkò ní sà. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ moment tó sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ tí n tẹ́fẹ́ sọ lọ torí àsìkò anytime.
So, ìgbà tẹ́lẹ̀ ní pé
Okay, mo wà lórí program báyìí, a wà lórí program kan tẹ́fẹ́ sọ yẹn àlè sọ nísìnyí mo wà lórí live show. So ẹ má bínú ìyẹn wa. So sorry for that. These are part of the problems. You know, we have different callers to discuss different things that we treat every day. That's what, you know, Koiki does. You know, people call for different problems, you know, because they believe we are the face of the Yoruba nation. So apology to all our listeners, you know, right there. I thought it was a call coming into the stream for the live broadcast that we are doing right now, but that is a different call entirely. So we are just less than 10 minutes. Thank you so much, you know, our mother, Ruka Atomoumi, and all our mothers, Iyalode, Ijanota, Fat Bell, and all our grandmothers. We're going to discuss El-Rufai's speech, even if it's going to be just for under a minute, but I need to treat Nnamdi Kanu quickly. So, again, there's another news of Nnamdi Kanu. Some people around Tinubu want Nnamdi Kanu detained beyond his administration or Haize. That would be very, very bad. If we already have some people, we don't know who these are, the individuals, trying to believe that they can convince the rule of law and tell Tinubu to lock Nnamdi Kanu for 8 years. I don't see how that is going to happen and how Nigerians will be able to survive such. Because Nnamdi Kanu being held as we speak right now is already a crime against humanity. So if some people are thinking that we will tell Tinubu, lock Nnamdi Kanu there until your tenure of 8 years, oh my God. But what is Nnamdi Kanu saying before we go to El-Rufai, the evil monster, the shotman devil? Nnamdi Kanu sent a message through his legal counsel, Aloy Ejimako, yesterday, the 6th of June, 2023, to all the IPOP family. And this is the message. Personal message from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I deeply appreciate the abiding solidarity of the people of Biafra and the entire IPOP noble family against my continual illegal detention. I assure you all that our pursuit of self-determination to its logical conclusion is non-negotiable. So Nnamdi Kanu, even as he is being held inside the dungeon of the DSS, has stated clearly that the Biafra is a non-negotiable. Now let's leave that and come to the shotman devil that has now tried to ignite and put Nigeria in fire. We are talking about the Nasir El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, that went on, spoke for 5 minutes. I've got the video here. So we're going to play that video in Hausa. Wait. We're going to play that video in a minute. No, wait. That video is 5 minutes, but we want to get his picture so that those that are watching us from around the world will know that we have this Islamic extremist that is saying that in Kaduna State, which is the northern part of Nigeria today, that there will never be a Christian governor for the next, he's done 8 years already. So he's saying that for the next 12 years, at least. The current governor in Kaduna is a Muslim, the deputy also. So the question then is, are we already in danger when we have these kind of views from someone like El-Rufai that we thought is a little bit educated? But we've said it before, the Islamization of Nigeria is a plan. Ola Akinyemi, thank you so much. So as I'm about to read El-Rufai, Sanusi Shehu, Sani, Tinubu dodged a poisonous knife. Okay, I see where that message was coming. I see that message now. When somebody said, Tinubu dodged a poisonous knife, this was actually coming from Shehu Sani, because Tinubu, El-Rufai was thinking that it would be the SGF So Tinubu did not appoint El-Rufai, a criminal that has decided to put fire in the southern Kaduna where so many Christians have been killed. A former senator who represented Kaduna Central at the 8th Senate, Shehu Sani, Wednesday has mocked the immediate past governor of the state, the picture behind me, Nasir El-Rufai. Shehu Sani went on to say that Nasir El-Rufai, for missing out in the recent appointment made by President Bola Tinubu by appointing the former governor of Benue State, George Akume, as the secretary of the government of the federation known as the SGF, while the outgoing speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, was appointed of the chief of staff. Akume was sworn in today. I watched that. Served during the second tenure of the former President Buhari as the Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. But what actually, as El-Rufai said, because of my time, let's listen to it, and I'm going to translate it after everything has been listened to.
An yi maganganu da yawa kan gwamnatin tarayya. Gaskiya ne abinda Professor Akintoye ya faɗa, mu muka shawara mu gwamnonin Arewa APC muka ce mulki ya koma domin alƙawarin da aka yi kina alƙawarin ba.
So what I'll try and do, because of the translation, let's go back one more step so that I can try to translate it for us.
An yi maganganu da yawa kan gwamnati.
He went on to say, concerning the presidential government, what Professor Akintoye said is true.
Gwamnatin tarayya. Gaskiya ne abinda Professor Akintoye ya faɗa, mu muka shawara mu gwamnonin Arewa.
We, the northern governors, agree that the presidential position should go back to the west. It was a verbal promise, but promise, whether written or spoken, God knows. When we saw some people plotting for presidential position to remain in the north, we disagree. We like not this. We said we are Muslim, we have our traditions, and we cannot go back on our words. That was the first step. The second step is, after we all agree, we tackle the issue of tribalism and religion in the politics in this country. We agree that we will support Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When we had that agreement, I was not in good terms with him. Tinubu, we were fighting. So both of them are fighting even when they had that agreement, according to him. But Professor Akintoye and their leaders came from Lagos and said this is their thought. If power is given to the West, since we are all agree, it should be given to them. The Yoruba people from the Southwest have a problem. He's talking to you, the Yoruba people now. He said you have a problem. Their Muslim cannot contest. Let me read that. I don't want that to go because there's a lot there. He went on to say, their Muslim cannot contest and win election. A Christian, we have to contest and have a Muslim from the north as the vice.
Sai Kirista daga Southwest ne zai iya fitowa ya nemi shugabancin Najeriya ya dauki musulmi daga Arewa ya zama vice president.
They said since from Abiola it has never happened. They said they wanted that. I asked them to bring the person we will support, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu got that ticket and we supported him. We knew he would have to take a Muslim as his vice. But because there is something he can do than to bring a Muslim as his vice, because if he did not, he will not win elections. So Tinubu would not have won the election if there was not a Muslim vice president. Like I said, in politics, one needs to pause and do some calculation and also use his own thinking. So they are using Nigerians for calculation. Allah sees our heart. Me and the Zamfara State Governor, Mutawali.
The governor Zamfara Bello Matawalle ba don muna son wani abu muka yi ba.
Did it because of God. We didn't do it because of anything. So they are playing Nigerians. They are using you as guinea pigs. Did it because of God? We only do it in order to have a solution to the current religious problem we have in Nigeria, and for us to give the Southwest Muslim sense of belonging to rule. So he's thinking that the Southwest must be given sense of belonging. So if the North did not give you the ticket, you will not have sense of belonging. You can see why we say that we can never be one. This is exactly what El-Rufai is. I know my time is constrained, but my producer will allow me to finish up the remaining part of this very, very important video that we are translating from Hausa to English. And first source of religion that we use that, and it's because of that religion that we use that and gave Asiwaju a victory.
Allah ya ba Asiwaju nasara.
What we are able to achieve in Kaduna State now has been achieved in Nigeria as a whole. There is no liar that will come and he will say we'll do politics as Christians and win election. Even Peter Obi didn't win. No Christian will win election in Kaduna. Since when Asiwaju won election, Christian Association of Nigeria could not even utter any word. That is how we would achieve peace in this nation. So we will keep bringing Muslim ticket. Everything will be going smoothly for us Muslims. So we will keep bringing Muslim ticket. Everything will be going smoothly for us Muslims. That is what we do to me. And we are done with our work. Since Asiwaju already won the election, well, you heard him very well there. The reaction has been very powerful. Don't set Nigeria on fire, APC chieftains tells El-Rufai. The chieftains of the All Progressive Congress in Plateau State, Samuel Kamuka, on Sunday cautioned the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, not to set Nigeria on fire with his utterances. So now, at least, you will not say Koiki is the one that wants to set Nigeria on fire anymore. You now have your, former governor that wants to set Nigeria on fire. This is how far we can go. This is the fine tune of the final part of the program. You've been watching the Starr Radio UK, and I'd like to once again say to you, thank you so much.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Join me again next week as we say to those of you out there, my name is Olamileka, and I would like to appreciate everyone that have joined us, today. I'll be back again as usual, to Friday. On the Starr Radio in the morning. But make sure you continue to stay with us on the Starr Radio UK every Monday to Friday. Mine comes up every Wednesday, and I say thank you so much to my producer, to my sound engineer, and those that have been working behind the scene. It is the network of the Starr Radio UK. Mr. Koiki, according to our mother, Mr. Rafia, quickly, to take you back to the subsidy, the way that the new president canceled the subsidy program was just not the right time to do that. At least it should have organized and plan for the alternative for the provision of the people. No increase in salary, no elderly benefit, unemployment benefit, transportation benefit. His government should not judge to conclusion like that. Thank you so much. And I believe Tinubu will have to do what he needs to do to save Nigeria. That is how far I can go. We will talk about a Nigerian student that was arrested in UK for sexually harassment of a minor next week. You know, most of you that are coming into the country, you need to be very, very careful. And that is how far I can. To me, we are now on the koikimedia network. We've come out of the Starr Radio UK. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ kan sí fún àdúró tì yín ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé kámẹ́rà mi wọlé. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, ẹ̀yin onílàákàyè, torí àwọn onílàákàyè ni a wà níbí báyìí tí a ti máa ń bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Onílàákàyè ni wá. Àwa la máa ń gbé nǹkan yẹ̀wò. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Mixlr, audio yẹn ti pa torí ó wà mute lẹ́ǹkan. A ti wá sórí ètò Koiki báyìí nísìnyí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọkàn wa balẹ̀ bí ṣe máa ń sọ. Kò sí ewu rárá. I was on the right track. Kò sẹ́ni tó lè intimidate wa lẹ́yìn pé ká sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé àwa ni ìran ọmọ aládé, àwa ni Elédùmarè nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí jù. Ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa dáadáa, kò ń ṣe kékeré. Àmọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kí ni? Ẹ jẹ́ ká bí ìyá wa ṣe sọ, a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe follow up. Ìyẹn lèmi ṣe ń treat lẹ́tà yẹn back to back torí pé mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kó yé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa when it comes to understanding ó máa ń difficult gan fáwọn èèyàn wa. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń ṣe wàhálà tí mo ṣe ń kà á ní gbogbo ìgbà. Mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí bàbá wa Láre Lámínà, mo kí bàbá wa Dizzy 123, mo kí ìyá wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí Rafia, mo kí Tío Adésínà, mo kí gbogbo yín pé ẹ jẹ́ ká fọkàn balẹ̀. Kò sí kankan tí Nàìjíríà lè ṣe fún wa torí pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa tá à ń béèrè fún right wa ni. Nàìjíríà lè má like nìkan like but right wa ni, and that right òun ni wọ́n sọ sí bíbá tí a máa ń sọ ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kàn play right yẹn. Àwa nìkan kọ́ la kókó ń béèrè fún right, àwọn ilé náà ń béèrè fún right yẹn.
Other countries were refused at first, but we have to remember, and this is a really important point, that self-determination is an inalienable international right and a law as well. And other countries will recognise Scotland's democratic choice expressed at the ballot box. They will recognise that because that is the route that many other countries have taken in order to become independent. And just to make that point, that international law is very pragmatic on that point. We should have confidence in that.
So, it's a right. I know pé àwọn kan lè má like right yẹn bá ṣe fẹ́ lò. Like we said, we've not disturbed Tinubu. Kódà Tinubu àwa gan ló tún rí lò. Ẹgbọ́n kan tí El-Rufai sọ. Bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ó dangerous gan. El-Rufai yẹn ẹ jẹ́ lọ mú fídíò yẹn wá kéde ní dáadáa. El-Rufai is a dangerous man, and I'm sure pé there will be more terrorism. I won't be surprised. Kí ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà ní Virginia wọ́n tún pààyàn. Èèyàn méjì ti kú, 5 wounded in a shooting outside the Virginia high school graduation. 2 people were fatally shot outside the graduation ceremony in Richmond, Virginia on Tuesday. Àná tẹ̀lé lè ṣẹlẹ̀. Amẹ́ríkà pẹ̀lú ìbọn wọ́n kàn máa ń fi ìbọn níjọ́ graduation. Ìbọn wọn ti láìkọ́ máa fi ìbọn ṣeré d'Amẹ́ríkà yẹn. El-Rufai yẹn ó dangerous gan. Ó máa dín pẹ̀lú Tinubu gan quietly lábẹ́lẹ̀. I hope pé Tinubu náà máa play a very very intelligent one. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ mú fídíò El-Rufai yẹn wá kájọ play lẹ́yìn kájọ wò bó ṣe ń sọ. He's a very dangerous man. Lórí burúkú somebody ní bó ṣe wà yẹn. Kàn máa monitor ẹ̀ gan. Because àwọn náà lọ gbé gbogbo àwọn terrorists wọlé tó ń pa gbogbo yìí lọ́tún lósì. So mo fẹ́ lọ mú fídíò ẹ̀ wá lọ́dọ̀ ibi tí ó rà gbọ́dọ̀ kí ni mo tẹ̀tí rí ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ́nà àbí kí nìyẹn jẹ́. El-Rufai ó dangerous gan ni. Ó dangerous gan ni. Ó gbọ́dọ̀ monitor ẹ̀ gidi gan ni. He's a dangerous guy. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Prophet Ogundele, Nigeria is on fire order. You know, he's a very dangerous guy. El-Rufai. Ètò sọ yẹn, jókòó rárá. Fídíò lélẹ̀ mú bọ̀.
ce zan mataimakiya ta
nísù olórí burúkú somebody mú bọ̀ ẹ̀yìn gbé wọlé so ìjẹ́kẹ̀bí náà fìtì ojú mi sínú ẹ̀. mo wà kí gbogbo ẹ̀yẹ́ yan wa ẹ̀kọ́ àdúró tiwa látẹ̀kàn 3 hours wá ti fẹ́ pé so kẹ́má ẹ̀kọ́ lọ ju 3 hours lọ ká ẹ̀ǹdẹ̀ so mo kàn fẹ́ fìtì ojú tèmi náà sínú ẹ̀ if otherwise nígbà tètè rí fídíò kámẹ́rà mi dà. Okay, video mi lele, video capture, yeah. Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ El-Rufai sọ, then I then wind down ètò yẹn, a ti ṣe 3 hours, which is good enough. A dẹ̀ ti ṣe 2 hours láàárọ̀ yìí, so iṣẹ́ 5 hours ni mo fi ṣe lénìí. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin constable wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan, àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ very very nice job, wọ́n ti retire, ọlọ́àbá àwọn àkọlù gbé nínú ilé tẹwà. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ètò gbọ́n fẹ́ kó bọ́ sí ní kíákíá. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ̀ El-Rufai ẹ jẹ́ ń short of there. Èyí tí mo tẹ̀ kà lẹ́ẹ̀kan ó dà ń pé ó yàtọ̀ sí ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀. Bí àwọn fídíò tí mo lọ kà lẹ́ẹ̀kan ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ ilé ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ wọlé yẹ kí n kà. But anyway, kò má tà ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ níbí báyìí.
Ina gaya musu cewa na ɗaya na tsaya na yi lissafi yawanci waɗanda ba musulmi ba su zaɓi jami'au yawanci saboda haka me yasa zan ba su mataimaki na yi lissafi za mu iya cin zaɓen ba tare da mun ba su ba na ɗaya kenan wannan siyasa ne so kake ka ci zaɓe kana neman mutane da za su zaɓe ka mun tsaya mun duba tun da aka fara demokradiyya mun duba inda muke cin zaɓe da inda ba ma ci mun yi wannan lissafi a siyasance kenan amma na biyu abin da muka so mu nuna cikin shekara hudu na alhamdulillah mun nuna shine gwamnati wanda gwamna musulmi ne mataimakiyar gwamna musulmi ne SSG musulmi chief of staff musulmi kwamishinan kuɗi musulmi ba zai cuci Kirista ba a Kaduna. Kuma duk inda muka je muna gaya musu cewa haka ne. Duk samun gwamnati mai musulmi ne, amma akwai Kiristan guda ɗaya a jihar Kaduna da zai fito ce an zalunce shi ba ba shi hakkinsa ba. Akwai gundumar da ba mu gyara makaranta ba. Akwai gundumar da ba mu yi asibiti ba. Akwai inda ba mu je mun yi hanyoyi ba, akwai yadda ba mu taimaki manoma ba ko sun zaɓe mu ko ba su zaɓe mu ba, mun ba kuwa haƙƙinsu. Of course, kubo sun fi zaɓe mu, saboda ka zan je kubo in ɗan ƙara musu wani abu. Domin sun zaɓe mu, abinda zan ba jaba zan ƙara babbo, tunda jaba ba su zaɓe mu ba, amma mun ba su haƙƙinsu. Kuma abinda ku limamai da ulama kuka koya mana kenan shugabancin musulunci na adalci annabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam da sahabbai ya zauna da wayanda ba musulmi ba da yahudawa da kirista da wayanda ma kafirai ne amma suna ce mishi amin da yi musu adalci sai na Abubakar, Umar, Uthman, Ali dukkan su yi musu adalci. Ba wanda zai ce don shi ba musulmi ba ne an take haƙƙinsa sai dai dama wanda ya fi son ka za ka dan kara mishi. Amma ba za ka ɗauki haƙƙin wani ba. Kullum ina tambayar ko da muka je muna kamfen wannan zaɓen. Suka ce kaza ce gaskiya ne. Muna neman wanda za su yi aiki ba mu duba addini. Of course muna duba addini amma ba zan faɗa haka ba. Amma abin da ke tambaya wa aka zalunta ka tashi ka gaya mana in gwamnati nan ta zalunce ka ba ansa sai dai kawai ka ce da ka saba iskanci ka saba kashe mutane mun taka ma baki ko ka saba rufe hanya mun ce in kai haka ga abin da zai biyo ba kuma ka san zamu abin da muka yi kenan shekara hudun nan da ni da abokan aiki na kuma abin da muka sake nunawa kenan tun da sanata Obasanjo da Dr. Sawalwar ta sun sake cin zaɓen su duk da tare da dangin addini da aka yi mana, kuma ku malaman da ke nan da limamai ko kuka aiki ba ma yan siyasa ba, yan siyasan cutar mu suka yi wallahi ba mu ne. Kuma shi da wata ya san haka, mun san wayanda suka karɓi kuɗi ranar zaɓe suka kashe wani suka kwanta gida ba su maturo ba. Amma mun san yan agaji da suka ji su ne polling unit agents wanda muka ji su kada ƙuri'an ba su fito ba sai yan agaji. Saboda haka mun sani kuma mun gode Allah ya saka muku da alheri, kuma yadda kuka jajirce kuka ba mu goyon baya, don Allah don annabi ina roƙon ku ƙara jajircewa domin a ba Sendwave Sani goyon baya in ya gama wannan shekara hudu ya sake, sannan mu ci gaba mu nuna ma mutane cewa shugabancin musulunci bai nuna bambanci, amma baya son izgili, baya son rashin mutunci. Abinda kawai muke so mu nuna ke, kuma mun fara amma ba a gama ba, sai an kamar shekara 20 ana haka sai kowa ya gani. Daga bayan uba ya gama ya sake 16 ko sai a sake wani shekara 24 sai kowa ya ce wani mun gani mun san matsayin mu, kuma mun san musulmin nan ba za su ce mu ba, shi ne sai an zauna lafiya. Wallahi tallahi abinda muka fara tsari kenan tun da muka fito muna neman shugabanci, kuma da taimakon Allah da addu'o'inku da jajircewanku muna kan hanya. Allah ya saka muku da alheri.
Ó ní agbára. Màá tírìtì kéèsì ẹ̀ lọ́la, màá líǹkì ẹ̀ mọ́ lẹ́tà bàbá Akintoye and the reason why we need to get out of this mess. Ẹ ṣe gan ni ìyá mi Comfort Ológunjà, ẹ bá kí gbogbo àwọn family àti sister yìí. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní bàjẹ́ mọ́ gbogbo ọ lọ́wọ́. Àwọn olóṣèlú wa ṣe rí pé 2031 ó máa le gan. 2031 àwọn people yìí wàá fojú everybody hàn máa bo. If anything is not done between now and then, I pray that a lot of things will have been sorted out. We have just 8 years. Ẹ̀yin sọ fún gbogbo yín, ẹ má bínú mo ti adjust ibi tí kọ̀sìkìní Koiki ẹ̀ ó ń blọ́ọ̀kì translation yẹn, but mo ti adjust it, so for next time mo then try pé kó má tún máa affect ojú tèmi náà ni mo ṣe tú, so ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ, ẹ má bínú ìyẹn wa. À ń sọ fún ìyẹn wa, ẹ dá wa lóhùn tó àmì ìnírí jù báyìí lọ. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín. I gotta go now because there's school tomorrow and we have other things to do, so I need to start moving now. Thank you so much. I hope play anthem and then I'll close the broadcast from this side. I'll be out again lágbára Ọlọ́run. I need more time lọ́la, kò sí Starr Radio láàárọ̀, so tí bá jáde láàárọ̀ la whenever time tí bá jáde I need ample of time. Mo kí ìyàwó Faith David, ẹ má bínú, I can't give a time tí màmá jáde. I try, but apart from Wednesday ọ̀la ní sí lórí Starr Radio láàárọ̀, but èmi á jáde lọ́la lágbára Ọlọ́run. Adé sọ as much as ìjọ ẹ̀ka tó sọ. On that very beautiful note, good evening to everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day and bye for now.
She said,
Bye for now.